শান্তনু, শান্তনু, গুড আফটারনুন। শুনতে পাচ্ছ?
শান্তনুদা মিউট হয়ে আছে।
ও
Yes, sir.
হ্যাঁ, বলছি হাউ মেনি পার্টিসিপেন্টস আর দেয়ার? কতজন পার্টিসিপেন্ট আছে?
এই শান্তনুদা মিউটে আছো।
কতজন পার্টিসিপেন্ট আছে জিজ্ঞেস করছি।
স্যার অ্যারাউন্ড 10 স্যার।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা,
অ্যারাউন্ড 10 ইউজি অ্যান্ড পিজি মিলিয়ে আছে স্যার। আই থিঙ্ক দেয়ার আর ইউজি অ্যান্ড পিজি স্টুডেন্ট মিলিয়ে আছে। There are around 3 to 4 students are there for PG and rest of the students from UG.
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে, শুরু করো তোমরা। প্রিন্সিপাল তো বলে শরীর ভালো নেই বললেন।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ স্যার, 3টের সময় স্টার্ট হবে স্যার, কয়েকটা মিনিট
আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে।
শান্তনুদা তুমি মিউটে আছো, সেই জন্য শুনতে পাচ্ছ না তোমাকে। হ্যাঁ এবার খুলেছে।
শোনা যাচ্ছে তো?
হ্যাঁ এবার শুনুন, পারফেক্ট। দেবাশিসের সাথে কথা বলে না স্যারের সাথে।
11 তো এখানে প্রচন্ড বাস পড়ছে, খুব সমস্যা হচ্ছে নেটওয়ার্কে।
হ্যাঁ এই একটু আগে আমাদের এখানে হলো, আমাদের এখানে হয়ে গেল।
হ্যাঁ এখানে সাংঘাতিক
আমাদের এখানে হয়েছিল ওই 1টা 10-15 1:30টার দিকে।
সমস্ত নেটওয়ার্ক চলে যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
শান্তনু,
হ্যাঁ বলুন।
ও যে বাজ যখন ডাকে তখন সেই ডাককে এক কথায় বাংলায় কি বলে জানো?
কি স্যার?
বাজখাই গলা আমরা বলি না, সে বাজখাই গলায় দাম দাম করে আওয়াজ করছে। মানে প্রত্যেকদিন দেখবে বিকাল বেলা কি যে হয়, জেগে ওঠে, সারাদিন ঘুমিয়ে থাকে, বিকেল বেলার দিকে জেগে ওঠে।
কালকে স্যার বাসন্তীর দিকে হয়েছে স্যার।
হ্যাঁ বাসন্তী, আচ্ছা 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 আচ্ছা, ও
সাংঘাতিক হয়েছে, বলছে পুরো ডুবে গেছে। কাল 2 ঘন্টা বৃষ্টি হয়েছে, এমন বৃষ্টি এবং এমন বাজ পড়েছে।
ওরে বাবা, এখন যেটাকে বলে ক্লাউড ব্রাস্ট, জানো তো? আমি দেখেছি প্রচন্ড ইন্টেন্সিটি থাকে বৃষ্টির, এত জোরে হয়।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ,
খুব জোরে হয়।
বলছে পুকুর সমস্ত সব ডুবে গেছে আবার।
খুব মুশকিল, আমাদের আর বাঁচতে দেবে না। প্রকৃতি সব মিলিয়ে একেবারে অবস্থা খারাপ।
তমালদা জয়েন করেছে?
Good afternoon, sir.
কমলদা, সঞ্জয় আছো?
বলছি প্রিন্সিপাল, তোমাদের আমাদের সুকমলের তরফে কে থাকবে? সুকমল তো থাকছে না, সুকমলের জায়গায় কে থাকছে? ভাইস প্রিন্সিপাল কেউ আছে? শান্তনু ফ্রিজ হয়ে গেছে, শান্তনুর নেটওয়ার্ক প্রবলেম হচ্ছে। হ্যাঁ।
কমলদা আছেন?
আচ্ছা। আর দেরি করো না বেশি, কারণ যত দেরি করবে ততই কিন্তু বাজ বাড়তে থাকবে। আর বাজে সব মিলিয়ে একসঙ্গে, বাজ মানেই বাজে। তমাল কি এসছে? তমাল?
হ্যাঁ এসছি।
আচ্ছা, তুমি বইটা পেয়েছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার পেয়েছি।
তুমি তো একবারও বললে না আমাকে তোমার বইটা কেমন লাগলো।
স্যার লাইরিদা বললো আপনাকে ফোন করে দিয়েছিলেন, আমি বলিনি।
বাহ, লাহিড়ির সঙ্গে
বইটা খুব ভালো হয়েছে স্যার, বইটা খুব ভালো হয়েছে।
আচ্ছা। তুমি বললে
বইয়ের
আমার
লেখাগুলো।
হ্যাঁ,
কালকে আমার একটা হয়েছে, বই বেরিয়েছে।
আচ্ছা, বাহ।
অসাধারণ।
মানে সোজা ধরে বার করে দে না, একদম যেগুলোকে ডিস্টার্ব করবে। হ্যাঁ একদম সঙ্গে সঙ্গে বার করে দে, ঝামেলা মিটে। যোগ্যতাই নেই।
তমাল এখন শুরু করে দাও, তমাল আর দেরি করো না।
ওকে।
শুরু করো।
সবাই যে টেক্সটে এই যে রোল নাম্বারস গুলো পুট করছো, এখন করো না কেউ। প্লিজ স্টপ গিভিং রোল নাম্বারস রাইট নাও।
So it's already 3. Good afternoon, everybody. Respected Dr. Debashish Majumdar, Professor of Economics and Head, Heritage College at present. And Debashish, Professor Majumdar is known to us for a long time, and he is associated with us in our postgraduate courses. Not even that, in earlier occasions, Dr. Majumdar has visited our college for different activities, and as a resource person, he has given a lot of suggestions, advice, and his expertise in different situations. in different occasions. I know Dr. Majumdar for more than last 18 years, and sir is really a knowledgeable person, and his expertise will ensure us to grace this occasion, grace this webinar. And I will appreciate all the teachers of Department of Commerce for taking the initiative of organizing such an webinar, which will be actually the participants and the speakers and the students. And most of the teachers of Department of Commerce are already present. Principal sir is not there, he is not physically well. Now, actually, uh, the encouragement by the principal, by our principal sir, Dr. Sukamal Datto, ensure us and enlighten us to organize such an webinar. And most of our departments, not only the Department of Commerce, Department of Economics, Department of Philosophy, and Department of Education, all Department of Political Science, all of them has organized this webinar. And the topic which is chosen in this webinar is very much contemporary, because we are depressed with the fact and incidents of COVID-19 since 2020 February or March. Okay, and most of us are depressed, and our economy is witnessing the changes, the changing scenario. Okay, so how this COVID-19 affected the workers of the unorganized sector, how it has created the unemployment and causes poverty throughout India, not only India, throughout the world. But the context is we are the Indians, so the core context of discussion and concept should be on India. So its effect on the employees of unorganized sectors. Basically, we got Professor Debashish Majumdar, Dr. Debashish Majumdar, to uh, to coordinate the entire and to expertise and to share his expertise for conducting the entire webinar. And all our teachers present here, all the not only the teachers of Department of Commerce, but I will appreciate all other teachers from several other departments also for their active encouragement to coordinate and to organize and to organize such a webinar, which is very much contemporary to the present economic situation is concerned. So I hope this webinar will enlighten all the participants and the speakers who are very newcomer today, and they will speak, their speech will enlighten us and encourage us for conducting such webinar in future also. So we should be proud of our students, and we should be proud of the participants, uh, and I express my gratitude again to Dr. Debashish Majumdar, and I am requesting Dr. Majumdar to take up the entire situation and to coordinate the this auspicious webinar program. Sir,
Thank you.
Dr. Debashish Majumdar.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Kamal Roy, for this nice inaugural or introductory speech. I'm really honored to be invited by the Navabalinganj Mahavidyalaya to chair this particular webinar, this session, where most of the students, okay, they will present the papers on a very relevant topic, as Kamal has already indicated. And the world economy as well as the Indian economy, both we are suffering, okay, for a long period. And I think the students, okay, they will present the papers. We cannot expect, say, just like a research scholar, but still our undergraduate or postgraduate students, we often observe that they can also present a very good paper in this type of seminars, webinars, and this type of webinars. I think when it is arranged by the department, any department, in any college, that will give them the scope. Sorry, but just a minute.
স্যার আপনি মিউট হয়ে গেছেন স্যার। এবার কি করবো? ফোন এসছে? অ্যাক্সিডেন্ট তো হয়ে গেল, ঢুকতে পারবেন স্যার?
স্যার তো জয়েন করে আছেন, বেরোননি তো, ফোন ধরেছেন উনি, বেরোননি, উনি আছেন। শান্তনুর বাড়ির পেছনে যে সবুজ রঙের কি ওগুলো? সুন্দরবনে আছো নাকি তুমি?
আমি সুন্দরবনে আছি।
Sorry for the interruption. Actually, what I was talking, that this type of webinar can encourage the undergraduate as well as the postgraduate students to undertake some important research areas. Okay, and I think this type of webinar, which has been organized by this Department of Commerce of Novaliganj Mahavidyalaya, will very well can encourage the students. Okay, so without further delay, I would now request the students who are to present the paper one by one. Okay, since I do not have any list, so I would just request the organizer, any one of you can call out the name, and they gradually they will present their paper. Okay, one after another, and after the presentation of the paper, I can give my comments. Okay, that will be better. I think that will be properly, and I fix some time limit. Okay. I think each paper can be fixed with say 12 minutes maximum and 3 minutes for question answering. In this way, you can I think 10 plus 3, etc. Otherwise, it will take a prolonged time period. Okay? Within 2 hours, it has to be finished. So accordingly, you announce the time limit, and there is serially the name of the team who will present their paper. I request any one of you to help me. Okay, thank you.
অনুপ সায়নকে বলো।
Sir, I am the host. Respected principal sir, guest of honor, beloved lecturers, and my friend, warm welcome to everyone. I, Shan Sarkar from Novaliganj Mahavidyalaya, welcome you all to the students' webinar on
Hello.
COVID-19 effect.
Hello.
All other students, please mute your microphone.
আর শুনতে পাচ্ছি, সায়ন কই? Where's সায়ন?
Sir, yes sir. Sir, somebody remove me from the meeting.
Sorry, ঠিক আছে, it's okay.
I will be your host for the today. Before we start this college function or college webinar, on behalf of the whole college, I would like to thank our chief guest, Dr. Debashish Mojumdar, for spending his precious time with us. Therefore, we sincerely hope that everyone will have a informative webinar from this one. Then again, I would like to thank our principal, sir, Dr. Shukamal Datta, for giving his concern. But last but not the least, our respected lecturers, with whom we students are not complete. They always give us support in many ways. Without taking any time, we start today's webinars. Let introduce our first participant. Orgho Kumar Dao. His topic is impact on COVID-19 on unorganized sectors.
Good afternoon to respected Principal Sir, Honorable Chief Guest, all faculty members and all participants of Navaliganj Mahavidyalaya. Before I begin, let me introduce myself briefly. I am Orgo Kumar Das, student of MCOM third semester. Today, I am talking about impact of COVID-19 on unorganized sectors. First of all, we all know what is unorganized sectors. Unorganized sectors are those sectors which are not registered with the government and whose terms of employment are not fixed and regular. No government rules and regulations are followed in this type of sector. So examples are plantation labor, handloom weavers, fishermen, etc. There also exists a large scale of unorganized labor force such as cobblers, carpenters, auto drivers, rickshaw pullers, etc. Sir, can I switch off my video and share my screen? Okay, sir. So next move on to objectives. This paper discusses about epidemic and pandemic and highlights the present COVID-19 scenario and throws lights on early diffusion pattern, possible association, inequalities and poverty. An attempt is made to bring the changes of income and livelihood scenario in the pre-lockdown and post-lockdown periods with a motivation to spell out the probable consequences on the Indian economy, especially in the unorganized sectors including street vendors, small roadside stalls and railway hawkers, etc. Next, we move on to research methodology. During this research, I have taken various statistical data to form graphical table. The methodology allows the reader to critically evaluate the study's overall validity and reliability. I have collected secondary data from books, various websites, journals, and newspapers. Next, we move on to description. Like demonetization, the lockdown has exposed millions of workers and their families to starvation, hunger, death, and very bleak future prospects. The pandemic has already exposed the health vulnerabilities facing India, especially its rural poor and urban slim dwellers. As a measure to contain the community transmission of the virus, the government announced a nationwide lockdown which was extended twice to continue through 17 March. The impact of a little less than 2 month lockdown is turning out to be immense. Since economic activities have come to a standstill, factories are not running, establishments are closed, and most markets are shut. There is a disruption in work, wages, income, and food. Rising unemployment, falling labor force. India's track of employment creation has not been very impressive, at least since the 2000s. Economic growth has not been able to deliver jobs. For example, in the 2000s, the GDP growth had risen to 7%, but employment growth decreased to less than 1%. Additionally, between 2012 and 2018, India lost 6.1 million jobs. The 6.1% rise in employment to a 45-year end high hit the headlines just before the 2019 general elections. According to the latest survey of the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, CMIE, the overall rate of unemployment has increased from 8.4% to 23.8% in the week ending 29 March. In absolute terms, the number of unemployed people has risen from 32 million to 38 million. The corresponding figures for urban and rural areas are 30% and 21%. As a as the figure as the figure shows, the rate of employment in January 2016 was 40.7%, and this remains almost unchanged up to February 2020 with a rate at 40%. But the figure changed in March 2020 after the first lockdown and reached 29.9% and further declined to 27% in April 2020. If we consider the occupational structure, we find that around 40 million urban informal workers are committed in 10 highly susceptible occupations, including a small shop salesperson, laborers in construction, manufacturing, and transport, domestic helpers, housekeeping, painters, street vendors. These workers are worst hit during the lockdown and consequently their families. Labor force participation rate LFPR has also come down drastically in the week of lockdown. An estimate of both employed and those who are actively looking for a job but not getting one shows a decline. A decline in LFPR indicates that people have stopped looking for a job and have opted out of the labor market. LPR stood at 44.6% in January 2016. After the lockdown in March 2020, the percentage in labor force participation declined to 39.2% and further to 35.5% the second week of April. Going by the data released in the periodic labor force survey of 2017-18, more than 90% of the workers are from the informal sector. Only less than 10% are workers from the formal sector who can switch to work from home mode in this pandemic. For most informal workers, it's a daily hand to mouth existence. These workers have little to no savings to eke out a living through a prolonged lockdown. Lack of job security, paid leave, or job contract makes them vulnerable to vagaries of the labor market. The informal sector leads to a state of destitution, hunger, starvation, and even death, if not protected with an immediate social net. Exodus of migrant workers are fallout of lockdown. Migrant workers make up a major part of the employment force in India. In the unorganized sector, it is difficult to estimate the total number of migrant workers in India. The reason for this is because there is no portal for registration of migrant workers. By some estimates, India has around 40 to 50 million seasonal migrants. These are the ones in distress the most. The exodus of migrant workers either at Anand Bihar in New Delhi or at Bandra station in Mumbai is a manifestation of loss of livelihoods. Many of these workers, having lost work and hence income, started trudging on foot back to their villages in the hope of surviving the lockdown. Some were reported to have died. Health hazards, economic risks, and measures taken by government. COVID-19 has posed serious challenges for the Indian economy, both in terms of health hazards and economic risks. Due to uncertainties, measuring the full impact will begin to show only in times to come. Nonetheless, preparedness in terms of policy responses is imperative in order to contain the spread of virus and further economic slowdown as well. Most of the measures taken by the government, such as targeted cash transfers and tax benefits, exclude the vast army of the informal economy workers. In such a case, only a universal self-targeted welfare scheme is an effective measure. The idea of universal basic income and a national level employment guarantee scheme on the lines of the already successful Menrega to be pushed by the government in order to respond effectively to the pandemic cost bearing upon the poor and the marginalized.
Hello, Argo.
Yes, sir.
Actually, na, your first of all, your PPT with which you started is not visible. Number one. Number two, you cannot just read out. Okay, just you tell me in brief what you want to show. What is your objective? And already your time is up. So please summarize. Okay, just in a summary, in short, you try to tell what you want to show, and then one or two questions with it. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So please summarize. In conclusion, what you want to say?
Yes, sir. So we have seen the impact on the unorganized sector by taking into consideration the major workforce and also can predict the future implications which they are likely to face and what the authorities need to do at this stage. It is impossible to ignore this section as it will have a more detrimental impact on the industries and will further affect the organized sectors. Unorganized sector people have unstable sources of income, but they still contribute to the national income in a very substantial manner in comparison to that of the organized sector of the economy.
Okay.
তোমার ভিডিওটা অন করো, ভিডিও
You just on your video. You please, your video should be on. When I put your question. Okay. Argo Kumar. So Argo Kumar though has nicely forwarded or presented the paper. Now, Argo, for you, only one question, very small question. You have shown the relation between the GDP growth of India and on the one hand, and employment growth on the other. Now, can you tell me any technical term, which will show this relation between GDP growth and employment growth in economics?
Sir, LPR.
No. On the one hand, you have shown the GDP growth. On the other hand, you have shown the employment growth. What technical term should we use to associate both of them, which is very often used? I think you cannot answer. This is employment elasticity. Okay, employment elasticity to GDP growth. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You have second question is you have indicated labor force participation rate. What is the difference between workforce participation rate and labor force participation rate?
Sir, I can't hear, sir. Sir, please repeat.
Workforce participation rate and labor force participation rate. What is the difference?
Sir, labor force participation rate is the rate in which the laborers participate, and workforce participation rate is the total workforce.
What is the difference between workforce and labor force? Which organization of India uses this term? Which organization? So you have not studied well. Somebody has written and you are just this will not be the way. Whatever you understand, you present. These terminologies are used by NSS, National Sample Survey Organization. Labor force means employed plus unemployed labor. Workforce means only employed. Okay, thank you.
Okay, sir.
Now next.
Thank you, Orgo, for your presentation. The next presentation is by Roshni Gupta, Impact on COVID-19 Pandemic on Tourism Industry.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, but you must be also be visible. You must be audible and visible.
Okay, sir.
So open your video, and if you want to show something, if you want to share the PPT, everything should be shared properly.
Sir, am I visible?
Yes, you are visible.
First of all, good afternoon to the principal sir of our college and the chairperson sir, Dr. Devashish Majumdar. Sir, can I start my presentation?
Yes, please. You have already started.
Sir, can I off my video?
actually your presentation and video, does it clash?
Yes, sir.
Why?
Sir, because of the weather.
Weather. This is not true. You have written it on your mobile phone, and by seeing your mobile phone, you will just tell, nah, you just look at me, okay? Look at your camera and you tell me what you have written. Not seeing anything. Just in brief, in 2 or 3 minutes, you just tell me of your own, whatever you have written. What is all about tourism industry and how it has been affected by the COVID-19? Out of your own. For example, this is an extempore speech. Please tell me. That will be good. Okay.
Sir, can I share my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen.
Okay, sir.
Okay, now start. Please start. Share the full screen.
Sir,
Share the full screen and then start. Okay, yes, start.
Sir, in this
Please.
page, I have defined myself and my class, my topic also. As you can see, I have been collect my data on secondary base, like books and internet also. These are some viewpoints of tourism monuments. This is the reading portion. Sir, now can I start this portion? Hello?
You start with your objective. What objective and whatever you have found in your study. Tell yourself. Instead of just switching over from one to another, you just tell me what is your objective of the study. শান্তনু, তোমার মাইক্রোফোনটা অফ করে দাও। শান্তনু মন্ডল, মাইক্রোফোনটা অফ করে দাও। হ্যাঁ। Now please tell me. Roshni, you do not have any time. You do not have any time anymore. You do not waste your time. You just start.
Sir, this is my introduction portion. Can I read?
No, you just tell me what is your objective of the study. You just tell me what is the objective of your study. I think she is not prepared at all.
Sir, I think we should move on to next participant. Let her give time. I will call her later.
Now, I shall explain first, actually, to everybody. Those who are presenting, please do not just read out from your just whatever you written. Just try to summarize. What is your objective? What are the areas that you have studied? What you have found out? Your conclusion. That's finished. That should be within the time. Okay. Okay. Roshni, you prepare yourself, and just present afterwards. Now stop presenting.
Okay, sir.
Roshni, I will be calling you afterwards. The next presentation is impact on COVID-19 pandemic on migrant workers. Anshu Jha.
Please stop presenting the earlier one.
Good afternoon, Honorable Chairperson of the webinar, Dr. Devasis Majumdar, Principal Sir, respected teachers, and my friends. I am Anshita from BCom SEM3 Accounting Honors, and my topic is impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the migrant workers. This I am presenting.
If you want to present, then please present. It is not, your screen is not visible.
And my topic is impact of COVID-19 pandemic on the migrant workers. Next. Introduction. COVID-19 has taken the world by storm. The virus, along with the lockdown, had a serious effect on the economy. The Indian economy is heading towards a double-digit slump while the cases skyrocket. Although the impact on the economy is widespread, the unorganized sector has suffered and continues to suffer the most. Unorganized sector workers in India make up approximately 93% of the country's total workforce. Next is objective. The key objective of my present paper are: point number one, to examine the measure announced by Government of India. The government has announced several reliefs for daily wage workers and construction workers for an amount of ₹1,000 per person for all states and union territories. Such amount shall be made via direct benefit transfer from the BOCW, Building Under Construction Workers. Point number two, to review the impact of pandemic on unorganized sector, it refers to migrant workers. These impacts are most troubling for low-income households, which are less well positioned to cope with earnings losses during a recession. Most of these workers earn little more than a subsistence wages and have no other means to protect their income if they lose their job. Millions of migrant workers are anticipated to be left unemployed in India due to the lockdown and subsequent fear of recession. Many of the migrant workers have returned to their villages and many more are just waiting for the lockdown to be lifted. Also, there is a need to establish and to research and
Anshu,
after
voice is breaking because of connectivity issue. You show one after another your all other PPT slides. Okay, your slides are not moving. You must know your slides, and within the time frame you have to finish. Research methodology. Please avoid research methodology. I do not want to see this research methodology. I want to see whatever you have found in your study.
Impact on unorganized sector. The unorganized sector consists of unincorporated enterprise owned by individual and household in the production and sale of goods and services with less than 10 employees, migrant workers and the labor force. The already declined labor market faced a further decline due to the pandemic. According to the 2018-19 data, 52% of the labor force is self-employed and 24% were casual workers without any financial security, and have remaining 24% were regular wage workers. Of the pandemic affected the labor force unequally. The hierarchical order of laborers based on their incomes and social security is as follows. Point number one, regular formal employed, regular point number two, regular informal employed, point number three, self-employed, and last one is the casual worker. Regular formal employees are the least affected. Coupled with job tenure, high salaries, and social security, they are in a comfortable position. They can enjoy the privilege of working from home. The situation is more or less similar in the case of regular informal employees. Self-employed are also adversely affected by depending on the industry. They receive enough remuneration to sustain themselves. The less educated and casual workers who engage in low-paying work are the most affected. They work in unstable conditions and are susceptible to labor. Physical distancing, safety measures, along with the fear of contracting the disease itself, the casual workers are left to face the brunt of the pandemic. The CMI, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, predicted million job losses from April-May 2020. The majority of workers, the majority of which are the self-employed and the casual workers. According to the World Economic Forum, India has around 139 million migrant workers. The pandemic caused severe hardship to the migrants. Most of the migrants are casual workers or daily wage workers. With the lockdown in effect, many were jobless. The ILO predicted that the pandemic would push 400 million workers to poverty. Their passive situation forced the migrants to return to their villages without money, food, and transportation. Many migrants either walk or cycle on their return. Traveling in large numbers makes social distancing impossible. More than 300 migrant workers died from various reasons like starvation, accident, and not taking timely medical care. Now next is measure announced by government for migrants and the labor force. The finance minister announced several measures for the migrants. Proper implementation of MGNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, by the state will benefit the returned migrants in rural areas to find employment. Distribution of 5 kg food grains and 1 kg of chana for each person for 2 months through the state will be ensured. The non-beneficiaries under the National Food Security Act can also avail of this. Implementation of the One Nation, One Ration card will allow the migrant worker to access food in the working state. The migrant can rent affordable houses in the cities through the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. A credit package of 5,000 crores, a credit package of 5,000 crores where 5,000 crores of vendors will facilitate easy trade policy. Rulers and cooperative banks have received 30,000 crores of profit. Next one suggestion. The unorganized sector employees should be granted pension during the rainy season, maternity leave benefits, accident relief, natural mortality allowances, education assistance for children for higher education. The contribution of unorganized workers to GDP is almost 50%. Therefore, social security measures should cover all unorganized workers to bring the country to full development. Social security measures cover only 6% of unorganized workers. The government should raise awareness of the unorganized workers, welfare fund, and the welfare programs that are supplied by the state fund. Next is conclusion. The overwhelming of employees in the country are from an unorganized sector, including the agriculture sector, shop, small-scale service providers, etc. Unorganized worker function without sufficient benefit in extreme conditions for both economic and social growth, security, and support for unorganized sector. Workers are very important. Government laws to protect these workers should be enforced strictly, and those who misuse them should be harshly punished for real. Thank you.
Thank you, Anshu Jha, for your nice presentation on a very relevant topic that is impact of the recent pandemic on the migrant laborers, migrant workers. Now, one question, just a very small, easy question. Can you tell me that why people, okay, they normally migrate from the rural India to the urban areas? What are the basic reasons for migration?
So please, so
What,
please repeat them.
what are the basic reasons for migration from rural to urban areas in India? Please tell me, what are the basic reasons for migration? Please tell me.
Sir,
What?
sir, in rural area there is less employment. In rural areas there is less employment opportunity, low wages, lack of facility, landless, and then
Less employment opportunity in rural area. That is the only reason. The reason maybe is a difference between the wage rate of both the unorganized sector or rural non-farm sector. It can be. And the second question is, can you tell me a situation, because you have in your presentation, you have just uttered words like formal sector, informal sector, or formal labor, informal labor. Can you tell me a situation where the formal sector can also include informal labor in India? How informal labor can exist in formal? Can you tell me? You can also write your answer in the chat box so that I can see the answer. How informal labor can exist in the formal sector? Do you hear me?
yes, sir.
Just immediately within 2 or 3 seconds you have to write the answer. Now pass on to the next candidate. Next candidate to present the paper.
The next candidate is Debjani Chakraborty, COVID-19 pandemic effect on domestic women workers with special reference to West Bengal.
Sir, I present screen. Firstly, I say good morning, respected principal sir, honorable chairperson of the webinar, Dr. Devashish Mojumdar sir, my respected teachers of the commerce department, and my friends are sitting in audience. I am Debjani Chakraborty, a student of commerce department of Naobaligans Mahavidyalaya. Today I am going to share my views on COVID-19 pandemic effect on domestic women workers with special reference to West Bengal. This webinar have organized by Commerce Department of our college. Introduction. The COVID-19 disease as a pandemic in 2020 by World Health Organization has been causing univocal challenges to the global public health system. The global economy came to a standstill with countries announcing partial or complete lockdown resulted in unprecedented social and economic distress to the world population. The public health crisis comes at a time when India's gross domestic product growth was already slowing down and unemployment was on the rise. Dev and Gupta through 2020, while the pandemic has affected livelihoods across the social classes in India, the workforce turns most affected as the threat of infection. ILO, International Labour Organizations 2020. Though different group of workers are going through similar constraints in terms of livelihoods and social safety net. The domestic workers face total or near unemployment and economic securities due to social distancing and lockdown restrictions. They required mostly outside the picture of relief mechanisms in the country. The International Labour Organization broadly defines a domestic workers as someone who carries out household work in private households in return for wages. On the basis of definition, it can be concluded that domestic worker is one who carries out the household purposes like cleaning utensils, washing clothes, sweeping and cleaning the floor, cooking or assisting the employer in the kitchen, look after the small children, accompany them to school on part-time or full-time basis for one or more employer for nominal wages. Methodology. The study was undertaken using through which quantitative and qualitative dimension of the issues related to livelihood and working condition of the domestic workers during pandemic workers pandemic worker scenario India were explored. The data was collected from 260 women domestic workers from their major cities in India, namely New Delhi, Mumbai, and Kochi. The cities were chosen based on preliminary newspaper reports about the plight of domestic workers in these cities during the lockdown period. The contact details of the women domestic workers were collected through non-governmental organizations and domestic workers collectives working in this city who maintain data of workers real estate with them. The study is descriptive in nature. The data for research work will be collected from secondary sources. The secondary data will be collected through journal, books, research papers, and reports by ILO and Government of India. Qualitative evidences were also collected through telephonic conversation with 12 domestic workers, 4 each from New Delhi, Mumbai, and Kochi. These 12 workers were selected. They are the peer leaders who are organizing workers under NGO guidance. Informed consent was taken during interview and confidentiality of the collected data is maintained. Objectives to study.
Devjani, 1 minute, 1 minute. You
Yes.
you are describing the methodology that another group has already been followed. Okay, that you have not followed this method. Nah, you are just describing a method that has been followed in a particular paper. I don't want to know this. I don't want. I just want to know what you have studied, what you have found in your paper.
Okay, okay.
This is not. This is
Okay,
not
okay.
because you have
Okay,
not
sir.
carried out this study. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay.
Why? What is the use of just telling all these methods carried out by any other people? Just you tell me that what you have found.
Okay, sir. Okay, okay. The socio-economic conditions of female domestic workers in India are not good. The domestic workers in India face challenges both at home and workplace. They migrate from rural areas to urban areas in search of employment facilities. They have a heavy workload with less recognition and remuneration. They work hard for better future of their children. They do not have access to institutional care facilities that provide quality care at affordable rates in their childhood. Domestic workers live and work in terrible conditions and vulnerable to abuse. This esteem suffers, leaving children alone at home, enlisting the help of an older sibling or young relative or taking children to work if allowed with adverse consequences on children's health and education as well as workers' productivity. The unorganized sector plays vital role in terms of providing employment opportunities to a large segment of workforce in India. The women domestic workers live live in different types of slum settlements, and work in informal sector. Next, I say government steps to protect domestic workers.
Acha, Devjani, stop. You just stop here. Huh? Just listen to me.
Okay.
Just you stop everything. Just listen to me. You are consider yourself as the Minister of Social Welfare of Uttar Pradesh. Okay.
Okay.
And or say West Bengal. Domestic social welfare.
Okay.
Now you know that for the last few say 1.5 years, the domestic workers are suffering. As a minister, what step you will take immediately?
To give them right.
You can also speak in Bengali, no problem. In any language, in any Indian language, Nepali, Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, Gujarati, in any language you can speak. Okay, just give me the answer.
Sir, to provide minimum wage rate.
Wage rate. Who will provide them the wage rate? Who provides them? Who provides them? Domestic workers. From where they get their wages? From where they get the wages?
Government.
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 You have not yet studied. Domestic workers mean those who are work in different households. Okay.
Yes, household purpose. Yes.
No. Then from where they are earning?
Private work, home tuitions, or office professionalism.
Mainly domestic help. Okay, mainly domestic help. যাকে আমরা বাড়িতে বলি যে যারা আমাদের সাহায্য করে ডে টু ডে প্রত্যেকদিনের কাজে, তাদের জন্য তুমি কি করবে? তুমি মিনিস্টার তো, তুমি মন্ত্রী, বলো তারা কারণ তারা যাদের বাড়িতে কাজ করে তাদের চাকরি চলে গেছে, বলো এবার তুমি কি করবে?
আমি ঠিক করব যে এবার তারা যাতে আবার নতুন করে কিছু করতে পারে এমন কোন ব্যবস্থা করব।
আচ্ছা, কি ব্যবস্থা করবে? সেই ব্যবস্থা করার জন্য তোমার কি লাগবে সরকারের?
পারমিশন। I think পারমিশন লাগবে। না, sorry, I am prime minister. Okay.
তোমার কি দরকার হবে বলো ফার্স্ট? ওদের প্রভিশনের জন্য তুমি প্রথম কি দরকার? তুমি অ্যানসারটা না দিতে পারলে তুমি কোনো কিছুই হতে পারবে না।
টাকা।
হ্যাঁ, টাকা, ওইটাই তো আসল।
টাকা।
কমার্সের স্টুডেন্ট প্রথমে টাকা পয়সার কথা ভাববে। হ্যাঁ, গভর্নমেন্ট কোথা থেকে পাবে? From where the government will?
গভর্নমেন্ট এটা পাবে তো কোথা থেকে পাবে? আই থিংক
গভর্নমেন্ট কোথা থেকে পায় টাকা?
ফান্ড একটা ফান্ড থাকে, সেই ফান্ড থেকেই তো টাকাটা আসছে গভর্নমেন্টের।
ফান্ডটা কে ক্রিয়েট করবে? কার ফান্ড? কোথা থেকে আসবে ফান্ডের টাকা?
প্রাইম মিনিস্টার।
তুমি ভালো করে চিন্তা করে আমাকে উত্তরগুলো দেবে। আচ্ছা, পরের যে আছে তাকে পেপার প্রেজেন্ট করতে বলো, সময় হয়ে গেছে।
Next presentation by Debayan Chatterjee, impact on COVID-19 pandemic on MSME sectors.
Good afternoon, sirs. My name is Debayan Chatterjee, and I am in semester 5 become honors. Before I begin, I would like to pay and sir, as well as our all esteemed professors. Sir, can I share my screen, sir?
Yes, please. But I tell you, just please do not read from your PPT. Okay, just tell me the brief. Only about the brief.
Okay, sir.
Please do not read from your
Yes, sir.
PPT. Because PPT, I am
Yes, sir.
observing your PPT. You just tell me in brief what you
Okay, sir.
understand.
Okay, sir. My objective of the study are to understand the problem faced by the MSME sector due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And the second one is to know the initiative taken by the government to overcome the problems of MSME sector. And now I'm going to the importance of MSME sector in Indian economic development. So MSME sector is in second largest employment generation after agriculture and act as a breeding ground for entrepreneurs, innovators with valuable support. In the new business, it creates large-scale enterprises that are inclusively in this sector requires low capitals to start up new business. Moreover, it creates a vast opportunity for the unemployed people to avail. India produces about 1.2 million graduates per year, out of which the total number of engineers are around 0.8 million. In of growth and leverage exports. It is the most we are contributing to the tune of 8% to GDP. Contributing of MSME to manufacturing, exports, and employment. Other sectors are also benefiting from it. Encourage inclusive is that the and small and medium sized enterprise. For on the other hand, poverty and deprivation are a deterrent to the development cheap labor and while in the last one of the main challenges is to retain the human resources through an effective human resource management professionals managers. The effect of COVID-19 on immune sector. As per survey reports have shown that the disruption caused have impacted MSME sector by earnings by 20 to 50%. Micro and small enterprise faced the maximum hit, mainly due to liquidity crunch. Some enterprise innovated their ways by shifting focus from non-essential commodity towards essential commodity like productions of hand sanitizers and toiletries, PPE kits, reasonable masks, etc., and are able to survive in tough times. Of the 1,000 companies surveyed from 8 countries across have had to shut improve their business by following direct instructions from the authorities, while the have slowly due to reductions in orders cases to stop COVID-19 or more sadly permanently. With the coronavirus impacting their cash cycles, MSMEs, who are backbone of India's inclusive growth story, have felt a significant impact and face severe disruptions. And solve the problem of sector during COVID. Why assembling in India when we can make in India? Now the right time for the government to roll out shops back manufacturing locally. Government team in place could be used to suppliers looking for purchases in infrastructure while also encouraging small business to source local
or the in into the differing releasing the message of loan come and investment for exporters. Businesses that are into exports could use some help with the inventory management. In the Union Budget 2020, Sitaraman proposed building warehouses as black or black level at block level. If the government could allot some warehouse to exporters figuring out of the thing to basically help support the economy. And Indian government now have no to fill MSMEs. Emergency credit and to businesses with
Hello,
MSME for
hello,
bank.
Devayan. Hello, Devayan. Your voice is cracking, and we cannot. For myself, I cannot follow you. Okay, just you come to the conclusion. Just you conclude. Please conclude because your
Okay,
time
sir.
will be up, and you conclude what you want to say. And then
And government of India takes steps to make MSMEs better, which is good. And MSMEs under the
Ajay, you stop sharing because
and
your network is very poor. You stop sharing and just listen to my question and answer in the chat box. Okay.
okay, sir.
Okay. Just listen to my question. The question is that you have rightly shown that in your paper that MSME sector has been affected by due to different during this pandemic period and in different ways. What are their problems, etc. You have shown it. Now the question is, can you indicate any two other factors? Can you indicate any two other factors which actually increased the misery of MSME much before the pandemic started? Okay, actually they were already in a grief. They were already in a problem. Pandemic increased the problem, intensity of the problem. Okay, so can you indicate any of those two factors which increased or intensified the problems?
Actually, before the pandemic, a common problem was there that actually this is the MSME sector, so they have not so much capital to invest in their business, and many competitors are in the market. So many large companies are also invest in the marketplace marketplace. So in the competition run, their technology are not so much developed to compete with the large scale with the large scale development organizations.
No, this is not the real story. Can you indicate any two policies taken by government that affected them badly before pandemic?
No, sir. I don't know. No.
So repeat question.
Yes. Please listen. It is GST implemented by the government of India and the demonetization, which affected mostly the MSME sector. Can you tell me the full form of MSME?
Yes, a micro, small, and medium enterprise.
Okay. Okay. Please present the next one in the list.
Mega Boiddo deadly punch to unorganized sector with reference to West Bengal hawkers.
I would request the host, actually Shayan Sarkar, to record it. Please record. You are not recording. Please
Sir,
record.
I am not the
Then
person who is actually
please record it.
organizing
Record.
this. Sir, I
Otherwise,
am not responsible. I don't know who is responsible for recording. I am not hosting the meetings. I am just the virtual host who is announcing and giving introduction.
okay. Huh. Okay. Okay.
Megha Boito. Sorry, sir. I guess she is not present.
Yeah. So
I am moving on next. Choinika Gupta and Jyoti Roy. Topic is the impact on COVID-19 on tourism sector.
I am sharing my screen. Good afternoon to our respected teachers and my beloved friends. I am Swarnika Gupta from MCOM third semester.
what is your
And I am Joyita Roy.
Joyita and Chayanika? Your topic, the first PPT, the first page of the PPT should show the topic. Na? Where
Sir,
is your?
actually I am sharing my screen, but it's not showing.
No. Just click on to the first.
Sir, in my laptop, my screen sharing the heading, but in my phone, I cannot see it. It's hanging. I don't know.
Okay, then move on. Okay, move on.
It's not showing, sir. All right, sir. Today we are going to show the impact of COVID-19 on Indian tourism sector. Tourism means movement of people to different countries or places for personal or professional reason. In this study, we are going to present the scenario of Indian tourism sector before and after pandemic. Moving to our next slide, research aim and objectives. We have executed this research to show the contribution of Indian tourism sector in growth of Indian economy. And along with that, we want to show the reflection of COVID-19 pandemic in Indian tourism sector. Moving towards next point, we have adopted secondary quantitative and qualitative data analysis that helps us to execute the research in a comprehensive way. Data analysis. In this study, we are going to see the scenario of Indian tourism before COVID-19 pandemic. Tourism and hospitality leads a significant role in Indian economy. In the year 2000,
your slides are not moving. Please move your slide. Huh? Okay.
yes, sir.
Now.
Just a minute, sir. Just a minute, sir.
No. Now it is okay. Data analysis. Huh? Now we are observing. Just when you click on it, it will be showing. Huh? Please. Now tell.
I am changing the slide, sir, but it's not showing. Sir, can I stop my presenting and restart it?
Please tell me. Chayanika,
Sir, I am stopped. Sir, I am stopping presenting. Then again, I am doing it.
No. It will show the same thing. It will be on the same thing. But you must know the technique. Otherwise, you cannot show.
So now is it visible?
Previously also it was visible. Now tell me. Just tell me what is your study. Huh?
All right, sir. In the year 2019, Indian tourism and travel contribute 6.8% towards GDP. In the year 2020, it has been raised up to 8.2%. Uh, from the year 2012 to 2017, India have contributed 0.66% in Indian international arrival of tourists. Over the past 10 years, annual growth of 6% has been increased in arrival of foreign tourists. Government of India is adopting different types of schemes to bring development in Indian tourism sector, such as Swadesh Darshan and Prasad and so on. From the chart, we can see that top 10 states where maximum tourists arrived during 2019. The first position has taken by Maharashtra, then Tamil Nadu, then Uttar Pradesh, and so on. From the bar chart, we can see the number of international tourist arrivals from the year 2010 to 2019. It is simultaneously increasing year by year. And the rest of the part will be presented my partner Joita. Thank you everyone for giving your time.
When you state just click on that particular slide, otherwise it will not be shown. Click on that slide.
Sir, actually I have pressed F5 and to present my screen, but it's not showing in Google Meet. I don't know why, but I can see in my laptop. I am pressing F5.
No. Pressing F5 is not at all. You must, when you open then you must click on the slide that you are showing. Otherwise,
Yes,
the way
sir.
you are showing it will not be there.
Sir,
I would like
is
to
it
say
now
something.
visible?
This is visible.
Okay, sir.
Now, Joyita Roy, please.
I would like to say something about the scenario of tourism sector after COVID-19 pandemic. Tourism sector is one of the sector most affected by COVID-19 pandemic. The sudden fall in tourism cuts off funding for biodiversity conservation. A rise in poaching, looting, and in consumption of bushmeat is observed. 90% of countries have closed World Heritage Site, and 90% of the museums are closed, and 30% are expected that they may never reopen in the future. Now, coming to the summer destination, which are mostly influenced by the COVID 19, and where we can see that a 40% drop on tourist arrival is observed. The name of the destination are as follows: first, Amritsar, second, Coimbatore, third, Leh, fourth, Srinagar, and fifth is Guwahati. Now, we will focus on the job loss during 2020-21, where after the nationwide lockdown was imposed. On the first quarter, about 14.2 million workers lost their job during the first quarter, and 5.2 million workers lost their job during the second quarter, and about 1.8 million workers lost their job during the third quarter. Now, coming to the challenges faced, corporations are likely to experience consolidation as small and medium enterprises face extended distress and even bankruptcy. Larger firms better positioned to withstand this crisis are also facing significant challenges as demand is not recovering anytime soon. Now, coming to the five biggest focuses of government in the coming future: increasing focus on health and hygiene standard, understanding changes of demand, including role of domestic tourism, interpreting changing business model due to consolidation and corporate restructuring, innovation and technology solution impacting on market access, guiding public investment in destination to position them in tourism industry post COVID-19. Now coming to the measures taken by government of India to boost the tourism sector. देखो अपना देश, भारत पर्व and पर्यटन पर्व, domestic tourism campaign and promotion on social media and on website too, social awareness campaign, and the last is Sathi initiative. Now coming to the conclusion of our PPT, Travelers' behavior will be influenced by the evolution of the crisis as well as longer term consumer trends that are reshaping in the way people travel. Skill shortages in the tourism sector may be exacerbated as many jobs are lost and workers will redu- redeploy to different sectors. Tourism policy will need to be more reactive, and in the long term, it will move to more flexible system able to adopt faster changes to change of policy focus. Digitalization in tourism services is expected to continue to accelerate, including a higher use of automation, contactless payment services, virtual experiences, real-time information provisions. Safety and hygiene have become key factor to select destination and tourism activities.
Okay.
Now, every research has its limitations. Every
Not necessary. Not necessary.
yes,
Just
okay.
mute yourself. Otherwise it will, create some echo. Stop presenting and mute yourself. Okay. Now the question to anyone of you can answer. Either Chayanika or Joyita. I would like to ask one question. Please listen to me carefully. If you consider West Bengal and Goa side by side, if you consider West Bengal and Goa side by side, what will be the difference in the impacts of COVID on tourism sector of these two states? Basic difference.
Um, Sir, Goa is quite more expensive than tourism in West Bengal. So the person who can afford, they can go Goa, but Kolkata is suitable for anyone.
No. In terms of the impact of tourism, impact of COVID-19 on tourism sector, between these two states, if you have to make a comparison between the impacts of COVID-19 on tourism sector of West Bengal and Goa, what difference will you find?
Many of the person lost their job in during pandemic. So I think that most of the person cannot travel in Goa due to the high cost.
What percentage of the state domestic income of Goa and that of West Bengal comes from tourism? Any idea?
No,
Which
sir.
which state depends most in between these two states? Say Goa and West Bengal, which state depends more on tourism income?
Sir, Goa.
Then which state will be say supposed to be affected more because of pandemic?
Sir, Goa.
That is the answer. And so first listen very carefully the question, and then you have to answer with analysis. Thank you. Then the next
Thank you, sir.
next participant, please.
মেধা আছে স্যার, মেধা আছে, হ্যাঁ মেধা মিউট
Okay.
হচ্ছিল।
Okay, sir. The next participant is Shisho Ghosh, the impact and challenges of COVID-19 on daily wage workers and their livelihood.
Hello, sir. Hello, everyone. Good evening. My heartiest gratitude to Dr. Majumdar and our principal, sir, and my lovely teachers for taking me a part of this. I am Shirsho Ghosh, a student of BCom Honors, 5th semester at Nababaliganj Mahavidyalaya, and I would like to speak something about the impact and challenges of COVID-19 in the daily wage workers in India. And I would request everyone, please grant my mistakes and allow me to speak. Coronavirus is a pandemic disease that has affected everyone for no reason and recognizes no color, religion, caste, language, literacy, community, etc. It has affected nearly 4 crore people worldwide and could exceed the death rate of 30 lakhs globally. Now we are concerning with day wage workers. It means workers who work in different categories such as contract workers, casual workers, and daily wage workers. They work as hour basis or day basis. And I have chosen a study area that is Chandrapur district in Maharashtra, and this whole thing is based on it. Chandrapur is totally surrounded various industries, and it is famous for coal mines and cement industries. Mostly the nature of its work is agricultural and industrial. The main source of income of it is farm crops, that is wheat, maize, legumes, rice, potatoes, and tomatoes, etc. But due to poor irrigation and high technology, job opportunities are nowhere. Therefore, most of people prefer to carry out daily wage jobs such as cleaning jobs, hotel jobs, works, canteen works, street vending, etc. And then there was came the lockdown. The daily routine of the way they are going with had totally changed, and they suffered a lot to live a normal life. Uh, and this time I have covered the um, daily wage workers such as mason, farmer, housekeeper, hotel workers, mechanics, coolies, plumbers, canteen workers, street vendors, hawkers, drivers, and tailors. My objectives of the study to analyze just to analyze the impact of COVID-19 virus on daily wage workers, to explore various livelihood problems of daily wage workers during this COVID-19 lockdown that we all went through, to suggest some measures to the government, corporates, voluntary organizations, and local authorities. I'm find some uh, thing based on the secondary data and interpretation of the study. There are some major findings. 50% of the people are illiterate and live precarious economic conditions. So they have to cover medical expenses and children uh, sorry 40% of people earn up to rupees 200, and another 25% of the people earn rupees 200 to 30 rupees. 55% of people collectively face financial and food problems, and some of the people are face social, psychological, and economical traumas. 20% of people are mason, and 10% of the people are you people work in supermarkets. And I am suggesting the government, corporate corporates, local authorities, and volunteer teams, and the NGOs to handle the grieved situation. The necessary food, medicines must be provided free of charge, free of cost. Adequate medical facilities, adequate facilities for clean drinking water, and sanitary facilities must be ensured at minimum cost. When people have their homes, to have their necessary uh, sorry, when people leave their homes to the market or the medicine shop, they cannot be punished under any circumstances by the police or any government officials. Daily wage workers can be allowed to relax when they are stuck to do their job, through which they can stand on their own legs and without looking at the hand of others. People need to be guided to overcome the various social, psychological, and emotional traumas uh, by the faced this period of confinement. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And that's it. This is it.
Thank you. This is a paper that you have copied from internet. Okay, this is a research paper by. This is a research paper by Padmakar Shahare, Mukul Bhargat, and Niyaj Sheikh. I have already studied this paper. Okay, a few days back. Uh, so please do not just copy from internet. Okay, downloading a paper from others and just telling from that particular. This is not good. Okay. Then the first question is that comes to everybody's mind that being a student of Navabaliganj, first question is why have you chosen that Chandrapur district of Maharashtra? Okay, that will come everybody's mind, and immediately after seeing that paper, okay, I have seen that you have just taken from that paper only. So please do not copy from other papers. This is my suggestion. And you started with a language that please do not disturb me. Okay, even if I have some, just I have to please, please speak now. Please stop. Please stop. Do not argue. Do not argue. You started with a language that let me allow to speak. Okay, do not just point out my mistakes. So your mistake is you have just copied from a full paper. So please do not do it in future. So next.
সায়ন
Next,
সায়ন
sir.
মেঘাকে দেখে নাও। হ্যাঁ।
Next paper is by Megha Boiddo, Deadly Punch to Unorganized Sector with special reference to West Bengal hawkers.
Please start. Please start. Please start.
Megha Boiddo.
Yes, sir. স্যার আমি স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করেছি, সেটা কি দেখা যাচ্ছে?
না, দেখা যাচ্ছে না।
স্যার আমার স্ক্রিন শেয়ার করা যাচ্ছে না, তো আমি এমনিই বলি।
You are allowed to speak. Just tell from anywhere.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, and thank you to each and every one of you for being here with us today. I am Megha Vaidya from BCom Semester 5 Accountancy Honors. Today, I will highlight the way the hawkers have been damaged due to lockdown. My topic is Deadly Punch to Unorganized Sector with special reference to West Bengal hawkers. And the objective of the study were to get the idea about hawkers, what are the problems faced by the hawkers during pandemic, what are the government steps taken for them. My methodology, I have been used secondary data to prepare this paper, followed different websites and articles and different survey reports. This paper is based on theoretical analysis. Definition of hawkers. A hawker is a vendor of merchandise that can be easily transported. The term is roughly synonymous with costermonger or peddler. In most places where the term used, Hawker sells inexpensive goods, handicrafts, or food items, whether stationery or mobile. Hawkers often advertise by loud street cries or chant and contact banter with customers to attract attention and enhance sales. What are the types of hawkers? Today, we can roughly divide the hawkers into 4 types. They are fixed pitch hawkers, who sells dry goods. Cooked food stall. Cooked food stall is an open air complex like tea stalls. Newspaper stall. A newspaper stall is a stall that holds newspaper, magazines, comic books, and other periodicals. Sometimes there are newspaper stalls in train station. So you don't have to just stand there and wait. You can read the news. Itinerant hawkers, a person who travels from place to place selling goods by pushing carts. So we know that today we can divide hawkers into 4 types. In this pandemic situation, we all face various of problems, and hawkers too. Hawkers' problem in pandemic situation. Firstly, earn to help their family. Hawkers are the class of entrepreneurs who have minimal investment in their business and earn very low income to cover the expense of the family. Hence, primitive concept of male dominant society has been replaced. Both male and female were involved in this form of business activity to help in the financial matters of the family. Secondly, the closed way to economy. The COVID-19 situation has taken into grasp every single aspect of economy. Lockdown force due to pandemic is worse than it can be described. Many of them had to shut down their business due to instability of financial condition and faced losses income, which is subsequently increased their debts so as meet the basic necessities of life. During this period, they were in a situation where their only earning livelihood was greatly hampered. Relied on aids from government organizations or NGOs. Though the series of lockdown phases enacted by government created a complete disruption of economic activities, yes, most of the hawkers had taken effort to cope up with the situation by finding ways to earn from other sources. The study also revealed that hawkers had to rely on aids from government organizations or non-NGOs, individuals providing them food and other necessities. Next, life based on daily earnings. We all know that hawkers' daily expenses is based on daily earnings. So, it creates a troublesome situation for them for survive. Problems of unlock phase. Although unlocking phase have been undertaken to restart economic activities in the country, the street down has had a tremendous impact on the business of hawkers, which has left them thinking of continuing their business or leaving the business. Importance of government's help. The COVID-19 situation has created a frustration situation among street vendors. So, in order to overcome the street vendors have expressed the view that government financial assistance is very important to revive their livelihood. Next, new challenges of market. Market for vendors is engulfed with lots of challenges that makes the market highly dynamic and competitive. This imparts of effect on hawkers business as they have to switch the proper product to target customers. Also, the market is visualized as competitive by the hawkers due to increase of competition by entry of new hawkers in the market. And lastly, urge to bring back the business of hawkers greatly hampered by the phases of lockdown. There is a situation of unplanned restrictions prevalent in the marketplace, hence, the hawkers urge to bring back within the normalcy. And my last objective is steps taken by government for hawkers. The government launched a relief package for street vendors in terms of microcredit facility to help them revive their business. It aims to provide loans to around 5 million vendors. Under this scheme, a capital loan of up to rupees 10,000 payable in monthly installment can be taken by vendors to revive the business with the reopening of the markets. However, the implementation of this scheme is a matter of concern for the informal sector. Hello?
Yes, I have your paper. Is it over or something left?
No, sir. No, sir. Last.
I think some connectivity issues.
I can see she left the meeting.
I think so. Her paper was good, and Shayan, if you see that Meda has joined, then please tell her just to give one question, answer to one question. Okay, then you can, okay, and then you can announce the next participant to just present the paper. Okay.
Okay, sir. Sir, shall we wait for 2-3 minutes, sir?
Yes. Move on to the.
Okay, sir. I'm moving on. If after this presentation, if she joins, I will inform her.
Yeah.
The next participation presentation is done by V. Kumar Das, COVID-19 impact on real estate.
Good afternoon. First, I'd like to thank Professor Devistri Madam for her continuous love, support, and encouragement. My heartfelt gratitude to our respective teachers, our honorable principal sir, and our chairperson, and lots of love to my fellow students. Today, I want to present COVID-19 impact on real estate. But before I present, I want to take your permission to turn off my camera so that I present my project without any hassle.
Your camera is already on.
Yes, but if I shut down the camera, then I started my project, sir.
Oh, do you want to share your screen?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. My screen is visible. Hello.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Yes. The COVID-19 impact on real estate. First, what is real estate? Real estate is everything which is our commercial industry, building, vacant lands, which is above our land and which is below our land. Now we discuss the COVID-19 impact on real estate in two aspects who are directly involved in this sector, like real estate owners, real estate businessmen, and who are not directly involved in this sector, like employees, like laborers, like conductors. And now we discuss the COVID-19 impact on the sector. Now, before COVID-19, lots of employees and lots of people try to purchase houses. Lot of MNCs also purchase houses, but after COVID, all our working is shifted into the work from home. So that's why the significant demand of in the real estate sector. If we look in this chart, then we saw almost 52% employees starting their work from home, and 17% not working, and 31% working from the business premises. Now, due to the COVID-19 impact, the demand is fall on the real estate sector. That's why the real estate sector companies is also affected. If we show in this chart, then we show almost before COVID, the real estate company share price is of 394.70, but after COVID-19, it's almost decreased, and right now it is on 302.10. If we look this slide, then we show the real estate sector demand is fall. That's why the significant revenue is also fall. If we show in this chart, then 2011-12, the demand is almost 23.75, but right now in 2020-21, it's almost decreased into 2.2. Because of the COVID-19 impact, the real estate sector demand decreased, revenue decreased. That's why the sale is almost decreased into 65% to the 52%. Because the real estate sector demand is fall, that's why the real estate sector taking the loan from the various financial institutes. If we look in this chart, then we show the real estate sector and construction sector almost take 2.29 debt from the financial sector. They are the major 5 sectors who taking loans from the financial sector because of the COVID-19 impact. Almost the players who are heavily invested in the digital investment, like who are trying to sell their properties through online or through websites, they have not heavily affected by the COVID-19 crisis during this pandemic situation. Because of the COVID-19, lots of the job is almost slashed. But if we look in this slide, then we get the in-depth discussion of the job loss on the COVID-19 impact. Because of the COVID-19, almost 6.7 million people lost their jobs, and 3 lakh people of them is white-collar employees. As per the My Hiring Club and SarkariNaukri.com info, around 2 lakh employees, including white-collar and real estate sector, are expected to be laid off due to the COVID-19 crisis. And more than 60,000 jobs have been slashed per day added. If we show this pie chart, then we show almost 47% income is decreased in the real estate sector, and only 1% income is increased in the real estate sector, and 44% income is still not income from the state emergency, and only 7% choose not to answer this question. Real estate sector impact on economy. Because of the real estate sector is a heavily contribute in the GDP. Almost 6.7% contribution in the GDP comes from real estate sector. Real estate sector also generate lot of jobs, but because of the COVID-19, real estate sector demand is flat. That's why job is cut. But not only the GDP or job loss, the real estate sector has a directly impact on the steel sector or gas sector and other sectors. Because of the COVID-19 impact, the cement sector demand is decreased 0.07%. Because of the COVID-19, real estate sector take lots of debt from the financial sector. If we look in this slide, 2017-18, real estate sector take almost for 21% debt from the financial sector and 6.6% total asset debt from the non-banking financial sector. But after the demand is flat, that's why they are unable to repay that loan. That's why they are right now is non-performing assets. Now, what is the necessary steps that we take to mitigate the management of real estate losses from during the COVID-19? The measurements and steps are divided into 2 parts: long-term and short-term. The long-term, first we discuss the short-term measurement that we take to control this crisis. Define the wealth strategy route of safeguard business, facilitate all stakeholders, and keep you longer-term ambitious. Support strongly business community, range succession helping, strong account management orientation, and amendment cost base were required to reduce the operating expenses. And the long-term impact on the long-term measures that we take to control the COVID-19 impact on the real estate is reassessing planned investment strategy based on industry development, refinancing, managing banking agreement, and monitor conveyance, continue or accelerating the further prepare your organization on new reality and long-term investment in the digital sector. Thank you for listening us.
Avik?
Yes, sir.
Nicely presented your paper. This is a very nice paper. I liked it
Thank you.
very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Avik, one thing, real estate sector, yes, definitely it has been affected by this pandemic. But what do you think that what factors normally what factors do you believe that leads to an increase in the demand for the real estate activity? Normally, any example from West Bengal? What factor do you believe? Yes.
First of all, sir, government is introduced some type of package in the real estate sector. Second is heavily investment in the digital equipment like website, develop apps. If the sale price is reduced or cost is reduced, then the demand is significantly increased in the West Bengal of real estate.
Now, for example, during pandemic in West Bengal, when I have taken interviews or I have met several persons who are involved in the real estate, have indicated some particular type of, say, factors which affect real estate sector in West Bengal. Have you any idea?
Sir, please.
Just please tell me once again.
Sir, please can you repeat the question? Because of connectivity issue, I don't understand the question.
In fact, I had an opportunity to meet some of the real estate persons who are involved in the real estate business. Okay, for example, some of the promoters, developers, etc. So they have indicated some particular points. Okay, during the pandemic, what has happened, why they are affected. Now, can you have some idea? Can you indicate any point, any one point that which can affect the real estate sector in West Bengal?
Because of this, sir, work from home, the lot of employees as well as households try to not buying the house at that moment. That's why the real estate sector is right now heavily impacted.
This can be the point that you have mentioned is one way that the demand for houses, for office premises, for rental purpose may be affected. Yes, this is number one. Number two, the next one. Any idea? Do you believe that the fall in the unemployment, rising unemployment, fall in income has also induced people to deviate themselves from taking loan from the bank to purchase new homes? Okay, for example, you have lost your job, your income has fallen, so you are not willing to take new loans from the banks. And the recent report has also indicated that the credit facilities offered by the bank for home loan has also indicated a declining trend. Okay, do you believe this is a particular point?
Yes, sir. This is definitely a particular point because lots of household right now try to save money, not to invest money.
Yes.
Not to invest money.
Yes. So
that's why, sir, government also introduced a package.
Yes, sir. Government gives the support so that these people who are involved in the real estate sector are not suffered. Okay, your paper is very good paper. Nicely.
Thank you.
So I would request the next participant to present.
Sir, Megha is present. Can I call her up?
Medha Vaidya.
সরি স্যার কিছুর জন্য আমাকে বেরিয়ে যেতে হলো।
তোমার পেপারটা যেন কি ছিল, কি নিয়ে বলছিলে তুমি? বলছিলে যে
আমি ইমপ্যাক্ট অফ প্যান্ডেমিক অন আনঅর্গানাইজড সেক্টরের উপর বলছিলাম স্যার, হকারদের উপরে।
হ্যাঁ, এবার আমার প্রশ্নটা হচ্ছিল, তুমি ভালো করে শোনো আমার প্রশ্নটা। তুমি কি মানে আমি এগুলো আমি দেখেছি নিজে, সেই জন্য তোমায় জিজ্ঞেস করছি যে can you indicate any particular transformation process that has occurred in this particular vending area হকিং এরিয়া। ওকে, যারা হকার তাদের মধ্যেও এমন কিছু ঘটনা ঘটেছে যে তারা কিছু কিছু ক্ষেত্রে কিছু কিছু হকার একটা স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ ঘটিয়েছে এই হকিং বিজনেসে। সেই স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ সম্পর্কে তুমি কি কিছু ইঙ্গিত দিতে পারো? তারা যেভাবে হকারি করতো আগে, এখন আর সেভাবে করে না, এখন অন্যভাবে করে। কিভাবে করে?
স্যার, প্রথমত বেশিরভাগ হকার সাব উরবান এরিয়াস থেকে বিলং করে, তো তারা রেগুলার বাই ট্রেন দিয়ে আসতো এই নিজেদের বিজনেস চালানোর জন্য। কিন্তু ডিউরিং প্যান্ডেমিক সিচুয়েশন গভর্নমেন্ট লকডাউন জারি করে দেওয়ার পরে ট্রেন বন্ধ করে দেওয়া হয়, যার দরুন তাদের প্রতিদিনের যাতায়াত বন্ধ হয়ে যায়। আর লকডাউনের দরুন যেহেতু তাদের কোনো কাজও ছিল না, যে তারা প্রাইভেট কোনো ভেহিকেল হায়ার করে রেগুলার নিজেদের বিজনেস কন্টিনিউ করবে, আর এটার জন্য তাদের অনেকই প্রবলেম হয়েছিল। আর তাছাড়াও এই যে প্রতিদিনের যে এলপিজির দাম বেড়ে যাচ্ছে বা পেট্রোলের দাম বেড়ে যাচ্ছে, এবং সব এই দুটো জিনিসের দাম বাড়ার কারণে স্যার আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি বাকি সব জিনিসের দামের এফেক্ট পড়ছে প্রত্যেকটা জিনিসেরই। তো এই
তুমি তো এই যে হকার যে প্রবলেমটা বলেছো, এটা তো ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল নয় নাকি? না শুধু ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল নিয়ে বলেছো নাকি না পুরো ভারতবর্ষ?
না না, শুধু ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল।
শুধু ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গল। ওয়েস্ট বেঙ্গলেও আমি তোমায় বলছি কিছু কিছু জেলায়, বিশেষ করে কলকাতায় কিছু কিছু জেলায় এমন কিছু হকার, তাদের দু ধরনের স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ এসেছে। ভালো করে শুনে রাখো, এগুলো পড়বে পরে। একটা স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ হচ্ছে কিছু হকার তারা তাদের ট্র্যাডিশনাল হকার যে ব্যাপারটা, যে তারা যে হকিং করতো সেটাকে চেঞ্জ করেছে। তারা এখন ওই জোম্যাটো, শুনেছো জোম্যাটো? তুমি যদি অ্যাপে খাবারের অর্ডার দাও, তোমার বাড়িতে খাবার পৌঁছে দেয় জোম্যাটো, জানো? হ্যাঁ, কিছু কিছু হকার তারা ওই জোম্যাটো টোমাটো এই ধরনের তাদের সঙ্গে যুক্ত হয়ে তারা সার্ভাইভ করার চেষ্টা করছে। এটা হচ্ছে নাম্বার ওয়ান। নাম্বার টু, কিছু কিছু পাড়ার যারা হকারি করতো তারা কি করছে জানো? তাদের ওই মোবাইল ফোনকে ব্যবহার করছে। তারা যাদেরকে সবসময় বিক্রি করতো তাদের কাছ থেকে তাদের সঙ্গে কানেক্ট করছে, তাদের সঙ্গে কানেক্ট করে তারা তাদের বাড়িতে, কারণ বেশিরভাগ লোক এখন আর বাজারে বেরোয় না, দেখবে বয়স্ক লোকেরা বেরোয় না, তখন তারা কি করছে একটা এই আর্টিফিশিয়াল ইন্টেলিজেন্স বা মডার্ন যে টেকনোলজি তারা ব্যবহার করে একটা স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ এসছে। তারা যেমন আগে একটা জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে হকিং করতো, এখন তা নয়। এখন তারা আগের দিন অর্ডার নিয়ে নিচ্ছে ওভার টেলিফোন, নিয়ে সেই সব লোকের বাড়িতে বাড়িতে পৌঁছে যাচ্ছে। বুঝতে পেরেছো তো? এইগুলো হচ্ছে স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ ইন দিস, and that means due to this particular pandemic situation, these hawkers have also, for example, you people, you have learned how to join through your Google Meet. অনলাইনে তোমরা করছো, এটা তো একটা নতুন টেকনোলজি। ঠিক তেমনি যারা হকিং এ যারা ছিল তারাও একটা নতুন টেকনোলজি ব্যবহার করে তারা নিজেদের জীবনকে বাঁচাবার চেষ্টা করছে। এটা একটা স্ট্রাকচারাল চেঞ্জ ইন দিস পার্টিকুলার মানে এরিয়া। এটা মনে রেখো, এটা খুব ভালো এরিয়া আর কি। হ্যাঁ, যদি পড়াশোনা করতে চাও, আর যদি এমনি পড়াশোনা না করতে চাও, মানে তোমাকে মাস্টারমশাই বলেছে বলে তুমি পড়েছো, তাহলে আর কোনো লাভ নেই। ঠিক আছে, যাও এবার পরের জনকে বলতে বলো।
স্যার
বলো।
স্যার, আমি প্রেজেন্টেশন তৈরি করেছিলাম, কিন্তু আমি সেটাকে শেয়ার করতে পারিনি। এখন আমি একটা বার শেয়ার করে আপনাকে দেখাতে চাই।
আচ্ছা দেখাও, তাহলে দেখাতে চাও তাহলে দেখাও একটা পাতা।
স্যার দেখা যাচ্ছে?
হ্যাঁ, শুধু আমাকে ওয়েলকাম করছো এইটুকু দেখা যাচ্ছে, আর কিছু দেখা যাচ্ছে না। দাঁড়াও, হ্যাঁ এবার দেখা যাচ্ছে। এইবার বড় করো। কি লিখেছো? ডেডলি পাঞ্চ।
Unorganized sector with special reference to West Bengal's hawker.
আচ্ছা মেধা, তুমি আমাকে একটা কিছু, খুব সুন্দর হয়েছে তোমার প্রেজেন্টেশন। আমি শুধু তোমাকে জিজ্ঞেস করছি। হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে, এবার বন্ধ করো, আমি তোমায় জিজ্ঞেস করছি।
ওকে স্যার।
এদিকে দেখো, তোমার তো সময় চলে গেছে, এবার এটাকে বন্ধ করো, আমি তোমায় জিজ্ঞেস করছি। তুমি তোমার ভিডিওতে এসো। সেটা হচ্ছে মেধা, ডেডলি পাঞ্চ কথাটা কোন খেলায় ব্যবহার করা হয়? বলো মেধা, তুমি আছো?
হ্যাঁ স্যার আছি।
বলো, ডেডলি পাঞ্চ কথাটা কোন খেলায় ব্যবহার করা হয়?
স্যার বক্সিং অর ডাব্লিউডাব্লিউই।
খুব ভালো, খুব ভালো, তুমি ভালো মেয়ে। হ্যাঁ, বক্সিং এ একজন বক্সারের নাম বলবে নাকি খুব ভালো বক্সিং এ জানো?
স্যার জন সিনা, গ্রেট খালি ইন্ডিয়ান
বাপরে বাপ।
বক্সার।
তো তুমি আজকে আমার কাছে 10-এ 10 পেলে, যাক অনেক কিছু জানো তুমি। আচ্ছা নেক্সট। হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ। যাক গিয়ে ও চেষ্টা করছে। আচ্ছা পরের জনকে বলো।
আচ্ছা, Sonali Dalla, impact on COVID-19 in aviation sector.
আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ, ভালো।
Good afternoon, Honorable Principal Sir and my other faculty members and Chief Guest of Devasis Majumdar and my fellow friends of Navabalinaj Mahavidyalaya. Today I am going to present a presentation on impact of COVID-19 on aviation industry. Sir, I want to switch off my video. Sir, can I?
Yes, please, for presentation of the screen you can.
Yes, sir, I am having a lot of network issues, sir. My topic is impact of COVID-19 on aviation industry. Firstly, as we all know that the outbreak of novel coronavirus was initially noticed in seafood market of one city in China in mid-December 2019. On 11 March 2020, the World Health Organization declared it as a pandemic. Uh, let's know about aviation. It began in the 18th century with development of the hot air balloon. Sir George Kelly is the man described by the many aviation experts as the father of aviation. He designed his first aircraft in 1799, and the middle of the 19th century he was building and flying gliders. Let's know about the aviation industry. It is the business sector dedicated to manufacturing and operating all types of aircraft. Aviation industry has a vital role. It plays a vital role in impact of on economic growth of a country. It provides the only rapid worldwide transportation network, which makes it essential for global business. It also creates jobs and facilitates international trade and tourism. It generates economic growth. It connects people, cultures, and business across and every continent in a matter of few hours. But in the COVID-19, it affects the aviation industry most. To curb the spread of coronavirus, the government had announced Janta curfew and suspended all the international flights. And the country went to a complete lockdown, suspending even the scheduled domestic flights. The pandemic has had a significant impact on the aviation industry due to travel restrictions and decimation in demand travelers. At the time of lockdown, the airline took drastic measures like firing employees, delayed in payment of salaries, etc., and sending employees on leave without pay. As the aviation industry is not able to pay salaries in time, they fire their employees. It leads to unemployment in the country. Moving on to the next topic, flight cancellation. The use of airplanes by travelers has been implicated in the spread of coronavirus. So it had decided that to cancel all the domestic and international flights. The World Health Organization noted that transmission of infections may occur between passengers who are seated in the same area of aircraft. Early March 2020, we saw that 10% of all flights cancelled compared to 2019. The diagram is shown here. Moving on to the next part, losses incurred by the aviation industry. Significant in reduction of passengers have resulted in flights being cancelled or planes flying empty between airports, which in turn massively reduced in revenues of airlines. Some have attempted to avoid refunding cancelled trips to diminish their losses. Many airline tickets sold their tickets at a discount to overcome their losses. Situation after lockdown. Many states have expressed serious reservation about the center's decision to start flights in India. Some of the states, announced their respective quarantine measures for passengers arriving at their ports. The government has announced that all passengers who want to travel after the lockdown will need to bring COVID-19 negative report from at least done within 72 hours of the journey. Methodology. I have used secondary data to collect all the information about aviation industry and to prepare this presentation, like internet, newspaper, and all. Lastly, I would like to say, due to this assignment, I got lots of knowledge about the aviation industry. It helped me to know about the aviation factors factors affecting aviation industry in pandemic and about the current scenario of aviation industry. Thank you, sir.
Shonali, your paper has actually indicated a very, say, typical problem faced by this aviation industry. Can you tell me that the problem that you have raised here, okay, through your presentation, that is impact on aviation industry, which sector has a close connection with this aviation industry, okay, and that sector has also been affected due to the pandemic?
Sir, aviation industry affected the most one during this pandemic.
No, and my question was, can you indicate any other related sector? Okay, related sector. Any other related sector, very much related to the aviation industry?
The tourism sector.
Yes, that is the answer, because tourism sector is closely related with aviation.
Aviation industry, yes,
And
sir.
domestic aviation, foreign aviation, both. There are two types of. Some of your friends, they have already, or she has already presented a
Yes,
paper
sir.
on tourism, and okay. In future,
yes,
your teachers are there to guide you in future, and you can beautifully develop your paper in future. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
I would request the next candidate or next participant to present.
Next participant is Akash Das, impact on COVID-19 on informal sector. Akash Das?
I think he's not there. Otherwise, he could have he would have responded. Now, since he is not responding, you can just tell. You can call upon the next. Is anybody left?
One person is left, Roshni Gupta. I thought to call her at the last because she was unable to present at that time.
At the beginning, she was not there.
Yeah. Second one.
Yes.
But I guess she is also not here.
Not there.
I can't see her.
So
I guess we should. We are at the last end. Sir.
Okay. So far, it is a great initiative on the part of the Department of Commerce of the Navabaliganj Mahavidyalaya, and I appreciate the enthusiasm of Dr. Sukumal Datta, the principal of the college. He is always very enthusiastic and supportive to all these type of initiatives undertaken by department of the college. So far as today's presentation is concerned, yes, all the students have attended, and their papers covered almost all the sectors affected by it is true. The gainers due to the pandemic, their proportion is much less compared to the okay.
Baba, Baba.
Absolute. Please do. Please do. Please do. Come out. Come out. Come out.
To mute for an event, sir. The background noise, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, you may
So,
continue.
whenever you consider different sectors, you will always find that some sectors are gainer, some are losers. So my point was that if you make a weightage of that gainer and loser, you'll gainers, and hence over the last say few decades, and typically during this pandemic situation, we have observed that the inequality has intensified. That means there are some people throughout the globe, okay, that they have been richer and richer, okay, and the some other people with lower share in total income of an economy, they have been poorer and poorer. This is a bad indication of development. A country cannot be treated as a developing economy if you observe this type of signs of inequality, that is pattern of growing inequality in an economy in terms of income inequality, wealth inequality. So during pandemic, large sections of the common people, the sector, for their livelihood, they have been affected to large extent. And often I refer to the say impact or the shock they have received, both in terms of the bad health, okay, as well as in terms of the fall in their incomes. So both in terms of income shock and the health shock. Now, for example, so far as the income shock is concerned, there is a debate that what type of schemes the government should undertake to overcome this type of situation. The government, for example, a Nobel laureate like Avijit Vinayak Bandyopadhyay or Amartya Sen, they are in favor of the direct transfer of, say, benefit. There is direct benefit transfer, so that the people at large, okay, they can have some amount of money in their hand that will be provided by the government. So this type of direct help with cash transfer in the hands of the common people can to some extent raise their not only their livelihood but also the demand for some consumption goods. So if the cycle of supply and demand that you always observe in an economy to run forward, to move forward, you will always observe that during this type of pandemic, there has been a huge demand crunch. Okay, normally our classical economy or the classical economic theory, they depend too much on the supply side analysis of a system. They believe that if you can correct the supply side of the economy, automatically the demand will be taken care of. But we believe that during such pandemic, the demand which has been affected. A lot of people have lost their jobs. Already Indian economy was facing this problem of job loss growth, and during pandemic it has been intensified. So with a fall in their income, fall in their purchasing power, side by side you have observed that the price of some other commodities are rising, for example the fuel, and that has a cascading impact on the different prices of different other common goods, essential goods. So the purchasing power is falling, they're having unemployment, their income is falling, so they are in a deadly condition. And many people who remained above the poverty line, they are now below the poverty line. So this has happened in India. Okay. Now, because of that, the effective demand has been restricted now. Now you need a spark, you need a push through the increase in effective demand, and that effective demand can be increased by creating more and more purchasing power. And for increasing the purchasing power, the medicine is direct transfer of income in the hands of the common people. So that is being suggested by several economists. Okay, but what we observe in reality is that the government of India has undertaken different financial package for the boost of the economy during the pandemic, and maximum part of that package consisted of not direct transfer but the arrangement for credit by the financial institution. So if financial institutions are given government support to provide more and more credit, that is, yes, that is a process, that is a pumping process, that is through credit facility you can pump in new liquidity within the system. But in this precarious situation, you can think, who are those people who are going to take credit from the financial institutions? If you have suffered a lot, you do not have credit worthiness, even if you take loan, if you are a businessman, when you take loan, you consider two things. Number one, cost of borrowing capital and the return from the capital. Already because of the market condition, you cannot expect more return in various business. So if you compare that cost of capital and return from the capital, then there may be a negative attitude towards taking loan from the bank, and that has happened. Many, despite such credit, say different programs offered by the government of India, different MSMEs, small businessmen, they do not have shown any particular interest in taking, say, a loan from the banking institution. Yes, that has happened, but not to that extent. So the suggestion was that the government should have taken such steps which would have, say, increased the flow of money directly into the hands of the common people. But that has not happened, this type of policies have been taken by different other developed countries. For example, if you go to Germany, if you go to Canada, if you go to France, the government has paid money for people who have lost their jobs or who have been retrenched for some period, to just not only to maintain their livelihood but also to create a demand boost in the economy. That should have been done. One can argue that in a large country, huge population, say the power, the government's the budgetary facility to be given by the government, that responsibility is huge, and government may not say arrange for this huge amount of money. That is true. It is true. That is, the revenue of the government is also falling because of the poor business. If you have say fall in tourism business, if you have fall in a real estate business, and different businesses are falling trend, there has been a recession, for example, and the global chain has it has been disrupted. Okay, because this is a global impact. In that particular situation, if the government loses the revenue, then the government also loses its capacity to increase or to just pump in new liquidity in the system. So this is the situation within India. Okay, and what we need a particular step by the government which may even increase the deficit, say fiscal deficit, say more than the level which is being fixed by the World Bank or any other international monetary authority. In case of India, for example, the government should take that step. That means government can even say take loan or can print money just to say increase the flow of money. Number one, this is the Keynesian medicine for the boost of an economy. That is, if there is a lack of effective demand, then Lord Maynard Keynes suggested, okay, that the government's fiscal policy is the right kind of policy which can boost demand and make the economy running. So thank you once again for Navabaliganj Mahavidyalaya for inviting me. Thanks to our principal, the most energetic principal. Sorry for the state of his health. I hope that within a few days he will recover. And I must convey my congratulations to all the participants. Okay, but mind, in future when you present the paper, please do not copy from other papers. Please do not read out okay blindly from your just slides. You just try to tell in brief what you want to show and give your own logic. Okay. Now, so far as our this faculty members are concerned, I also feel myself as a part of Navabaliganj Mahavidyalaya. I'm also a visiting faculty there. So say thank you very much all the faculty members, particularly here Tamal Turu, and we have Shantanu Mondal, Anup Kumar Shaha, and this I think who is there? Tushar, na? Does and all of them, to all the faculty members, Sanchita, I want to convey my heartfelt thanks and gratitude. Thank you very much. Have a nice puja vacation. Have a nice Sharodya for all of you. Thank you.
স্যার
Yes.
শান্তনু একটু কথা বলুন।
হ্যাঁ।
আকাশ এসছে, আকাশ এসছে আসলে পেপারটা রেডি করেছে তো ও কোনো কারণে ছিল একটুখানি ওর যদি কনসেপ্টটা জেনে শুনে নেন একটু কি করেছে তাহলে উৎসাহিত হবে।
Akash Das, he was announced again and again, and already the time is past. Okay, it is 5:15 now, beyond my capacity. Okay, but if you can, if you hear him, okay, just allow him to present the paper. Akash Das.
Sir, my name is Akash Das. I am sorry for my delay because of I was present in the meeting till 5 or 4:55, and I rejoined the meeting at 5:10 because of my poor internet connection. So my topic was impact of COVID-19 on informal sector. Now, first of all, COVID-19, we all know COVID-19 is a large family of viruses, and it was first found in 2019 at Wuhan, China. And informal sectors are those unregistered employers like laborers, daily laborers who don't have a fixed salary. They earn up to day by day wages. And my objective of the study is to understand the problem faced by the informal sectors like laborers and other shop owners, small shop owners, etc. And to know the initiative taken by the government to overcome the problem in informal sector. Importance of informal sector in Indian economy. The informal sector is actually represents small
Akash,
shop owners, laborers. Yes, sir.
আকাশ একটা কাজ করি চলো, আমি আর তুমি একটু অন্যরকম করে ফেলি এটাকে। হ্যাঁ, তুমি হ্যাঁ আমি আর তুমি মিলে একটা এটাকে অন্যরকম শেপ দেই। চলো আমরা একটু ডিসকাস করি। ধরো ধরো আমি তুমি যে ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজে তুমি কমফোর্ট ফিল করো সেটাতেই আমি বলছি। ফর এক্সাম্পল, you must have heard some this people who are in the informal sector and they are engaged in drama, ইন আর্ট ফিল্ড, হ্যাঁ, এই যে সিনেমা আর্টিস্ট, ধরো ছোট ছোট ড্রামা গ্রুপ, তারা ইনফর্মাল সেক্টর, তারা নাটক করে, সামবডি দে গিভ দ্য লাইটিং, তাই না, কেউ মেকআপ করে, এটা সব ইনফর্মাল, কেউ ফর্মাল না। তুমি যেভাবে বোঝাচ্ছ, তুমি যা ডেফিনেশন দিয়েছো আমি সেটা ধরেই বলছি। বলে আমি তোমার সঙ্গে এখন ডিসকাস করতে চাই, ধরো তুমি এরকম একটা সিচুয়েশন কি বলতে পারো, ধরো আজকে যারা নাটকের যে দল, ধরো বহুরূপী বা ধরো অন্যান্য যে দল আছে, হ্যাঁ, যারা আমাদের আমরা তারা যারা ভালো দল, এদের মধ্যে অনেক ছোট ছোট দল সারা পশ্চিমবঙ্গে বিভিন্ন ডিস্ট্রিক্টে আছে, ছড়িয়ে আছে, তারা কিন্তু অনেকে আছে পেশাদার, মানে তারা এরকম ছোট ছোট গ্রুপ করে নাটক করে, তারা একাডেমিতে নাটকের টিকিট বিক্রি করে তারা সংসার চালায়। এবং কিছুদিন আগে নিশ্চয়ই তুমি যদি দেখে থাকো, তাহলে তুমি দেখে থাকবে যে তারা টিভিতে এসে বলছে যে ধরো যে ভদ্রলোক ওই কাউন্টারে বসে টিকিট বিক্রি করে, যে লোকটা, সে ইনফর্মাল সেক্টরে, হ্যাঁ, তার যে জীবন ধারণের যে মূল যে উপায়, সেটা ওই কাউন্টারে বসে টিকিট বিক্রি করা। তাহলে এই যে যখন প্যান্ডেমিক হয়ে আমাদের সমস্ত হলগুলো বন্ধ ছিল দীর্ঘদিন, সিনেমা হল, নাটক, থিয়েটার কিচ্ছু নেই, তখন তোমার কি মনে হয়, তুমি নিজের থেকে বলো তো, ধরো তুমি একটু আমায় বুঝিয়ে বলো, সবাইকে বলো এখানে যারা উপস্থিত আছেন, যে তারা কিরকম অসুবিধায় তাহলে ভোগ করেছে।
স্যার আমাদের মোটামুটি 2 ইয়ার্স এর কাছাকাছি আমরা মানে লকডাউনের এফেক্টটা আমাদের 2 ইয়ার্স এর মতন ছিল। তো এবার এর জন্য প্রত্যেকটা ফ্যামিলি, বড়লোক হোক, গরিব হোক, মিডল ক্লাস ফ্যামিলি হোক, প্রত্যেকটা ফ্যামিলি কিছু না কিছু লসেস করেছে, কম বেশি হোক। তো এবার যখন এখন তাও অনেকটা এনভায়রনমেন্ট নর্মাল হয়ে গেছে, এখনো পুরোপুরি না হলেও 80% এনভায়রনমেন্ট নর্মাল হয়ে গেছে, বাট স্টিল একটা টাইমে যখন লোকেরা বাইরে বেরোতেও ভয় পেত, তখন এরকম থিয়েটার এগুলো তো চলতো না, কারণ মানুষের মনে একটা ভয় ছিল। তো তার জন্য ওদের যে ওয়ান অ্যান্ড অনলি সোর্স অফ ইনকাম, যেটা আপনি বললেন স্যার, ওইটা ওদের ওয়ান অ্যান্ড অনলি সোর্স অফ ইনকামটা কমে গেছিল, মানে বন্ধই হয়ে গেছিল রীতিমতন। তো ওদের তো প্রবলেম হবেই, কারণ ওদের তো আলাদা কোনো সোর্স ছিল না। হ্যাঁ, এবার আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ান গভর্নমেন্ট, আমাদের পশ্চিমবঙ্গ সরকার কিছু কিছু পলিসি, কিছু কিছু জিনিস বার করেছিল সুবিধার জন্য, যেরকম কি।
আচ্ছা, তুমি একটা জিনিস আমাকে বলো, তুমি কি মন থেকেই বলো, ধরো আমি নাটক করি, আমার নাটকই আমার জীবনের মানে আমার আয়ের একমাত্র উৎস ছিল, এবার নাটক টাটক সব বন্ধ, তখন আমি বাঁচবো কি করে? সরকার, ধরো সরকারের সাহায্য তো সবাই পায়নি, তখন তখন তারা বেঁচে ছিল কি করে জানো? একটা উদাহরণ দিতে পারবে তারা কি করে জীবন ধারণ করেছিল? তুমি কি জানো, এক ভদ্রলোক আমাদের এখানে খুব ভালো নাটকের দল, তুমি দেখবে পত্রিকায়, তারা এই রুদ্রপ্রসাদের দলে ছিল, তাদের মধ্যে অনেকেই যারা বিদেশেও গেছে, তারা বাজারে সবজি বিক্রি করেছে।
হ্যাঁ স্যার, এক্স্যাক্টলি আমি ওটাই বলতে চাইছিলাম, যে যখন ওদের
এই আলোচনাটাই চাচ্ছি তোর কাছ থেকে, তুই একটু বল।
হ্যাঁ স্যার আমি ওটাই বলতে চাইছিলাম, আমাদের জন্য ওয়ার্ল্ডলেসেও আমি ওই লোকদেরকে চিনি না, বাট আমি যখন দেখেছি যখন লকডাউন টাইমে ছিল, মানে অনেক আননোন লোক, আমি যাদেরকে এই এরিয়াতে কোনোদিন দেখিনি, তারাও নতুন নতুন দোকান ফোকান খুলে বসেছে, কারণ ওদের একটা ইনকামের সোর্স লাগবে না, ওরা কিছু একটা ইনকামের সোর্স, মিনিমাম ইনকাম সোর্স পেলেও ওরা ওইটার ভিত্তিতেই ওরা ফ্যামিলি চালাবে বলে ওরা বসে গেছে।
ঠিক ঠিক,
মানে আমিও কিছু অ্যাড করতে পারি স্যার? স্যার আমি মানে জানি না কতটা ঠিক, বাট আমি নিজের চোখে দেখেছি, মানে আমার পাড়াতে ধরুন স্যার, যেমনি এগ রোল বা ফাস্ট ফুড যেগুলি সেন্টার ছিল আমাদের এখানে, তারা বন্ধ করে স্যার দেখছিলাম মুদি দোকান খুলছে।
ও হো, তার মানে হচ্ছে যেটা মানুষের, তারা বুঝতে পেরেছে মানুষের যে নিত্য প্রয়োজনীয়
বেসিক নেসেসিটিস গুলি, যেগুলো চাল ডাল, তারপর যেগুলি ঘর রান্না বাটিতে যেগুলি, মুদি দোকান খুলে তারা নতুন দোকান, মানে স্যার আমি দোকানগুলি দেখেছি, আমার জন্মের আগে থেকেও যে ফাস্ট ফুড দোকানগুলি ছিল ছোটবেলা থেকে দেখেছি, ওগুলি বন্ধ করে এই করোনার জন্য, কোভিড এর জন্য যে লকডাউন, গভর্নমেন্ট তো তাও মুদি দোকানের জন্য একটা সার্টেন টাইপ অফ টাইম দিয়ে দেয়, যে ধরুন সকাল 10টা থেকে 12টা অবধি, তারা দেখছিলাম খুলে ওই মুদি দোকান খুলে দিচ্ছে, যাতে তাদের কিছু না কিছু করেও তাদের লাইভলিহুডটা চলে যায়।
এইটাই আমি বলতে চাইছি, যে তার মানে কি দেখা গেল, বুঝলি আকাশ, তার মানে দেখা গেল যে এই যে সায়ন যেটা বললো, তার মানে দেখা গেল যে মানুষ বেঁচে থাকার জন্য যে পেশাতে ছিল, এই যে অকুপেশনাল স্ট্রাকচার, এটা নিয়ে তোমরা একটা স্টাডি করো, যে ইম্প্যাক্ট অফ কোভিড অন দ্য অকুপেশনাল স্ট্রাকচার। আমি যে অকুপেশনে ছিলাম সেই অকুপেশনটাই ছেড়ে দিয়েছি, ব্যাপারটা বুঝেছো? আমি নাটক করতাম, আমি নাটক ছেড়ে রাস্তায় হকারি করছি। তাহলে এই যে একটা শর্ট রান অকুপেশনাল স্ট্রাকচার এটা কিন্তু কোভিড-19 এর ক্ষেত্রে আমরা দেখতে পাচ্ছি। বুঝতে পেরেছো? এটাই আমি ওই জন্যই তোমার সঙ্গে আলোচনা করতে চাইছি। গল্পর ছলে আমরা এই জায়গাগুলোকে আনবো। মানে থিওরিটিক্যালি কেউ যখন বলবে, তুমি যখন বড় বক্তৃতা শুনবে তখন বলবে যে শর্ট রান অকুপেশনাল স্ট্রাকচারাল শিফট, কিন্তু মানে কিছুই নয়। মানে যেটা সায়ন বলল যে আমি যে পেশাতে ছিলাম সেটাতে আর নেই, আমি হঠাৎ করে চেঞ্জ করেছি। এইবার একটা অদ্ভুত ঘটনা তোমাকে বলছি। এবার তুমি আমাকে বলবে স্যার বাঁচার উপায়টা কি? এবার কি করেছে জানো, আমাদের এখানকার যারা থিয়েটারের যে গ্রুপ থিয়েটারের যারা আছে তারা কি করেছে, বিভিন্ন জেলায় যারা অ্যাফেক্টেড তাদের নিয়ে একটা সমবায় তৈরি করেছে। বুঝতে পেরেছি? সেদিন আমি পুরো এই ব্যাপারটা, এই ইন্টারভিউটা আমি ছিলাম। তারা সেই সমবায় গড়ে তারা কি করেছে, গভর্নমেন্ট এবার সবসময় জানবে গভর্নমেন্টের কাছে যদি দাবি পেশ করতে হয় আকাশ একা গেলে চলবে না। আকাশের মতো আরো যারা এফেক্টেড তারা
আমার সঙ্গে নাম্বারস লাগবে।
হ্যাঁ, সংগঠন করতে হবে। তখন গভর্নমেন্টকে তারা বলেছে দেখুন এটা তো মরে যাচ্ছে, আপনারা কি করে, তখন তারা গভর্নমেন্ট থেকে তাদেরকে ওই যে রেশনের যে সহায়তা, হ্যাঁ, তখন তারা বলছে স্যার এটা খুব ডিফিকাল্ট, কারণ আমাদের কাছে বিপিএল কার্ড নেই, আমরা তো দরিদ্র ছিলাম না। এই যে একটু আগে যেটা বললাম যে অনেকে দরিদ্র হয়ে গেছে, আমার কাছে বিপিএল কার্ড নেই। তখন গভর্নমেন্ট বলেছে ঠিক আছে, তোমরা তোমাদের সংগঠনের মাধ্যমে যারা এরকম ধরনের শিল্পী, হ্যাঁ, যে নাটক করে তার সেই সমস্ত একেবারে তুমি যেটাকে বললি ইনফর্মাল, তাদেরকে সাহায্য করে। তাহলে দেখো এই যে সরকারের সঙ্গে যে চ্যানেলাইজড, মানে সরকারের সঙ্গে যে যোগাযোগ স্থাপন করা, এটা কিভাবে হতে পারে তুমি তখন বলবে, তোমার বক্তৃতায় বলবে, যেখানে বলো এটা সম্পর্কে তুমি বলবে যে মানুষ যদি সংগঠিত হয়, একটা সাংগঠনিক অর্গানাইজড স্ট্রেংথ, অর্গানাইজড ওয়ে অফ মিটিং দিস প্রবলেম। বুঝতে পেরেছো? এই অর্গানাইজেশনটা দরকার, একাভাবে কেউ পারবে না, এককভাবে পারা সম্ভব নয়। এবং এখানে কিন্তু একটা জিনিস মনে রাখবে, রাজনৈতিক ওই দলীয় মনোভাব আনলে হবে না। কারণ ধরো তোমার মতো অনেক অসংখ্য মানুষ এফেক্টেড, তাই না?
হ্যাঁ স্যার।
হুঁশিয়ার, ডুবিছে তোমার সন্তান, সন্তান মোর মার, হিন্দু না ওরা মুসলিম ওই জিজ্ঞাসে কোন জন, তাই না? তোমার ছেলেরা মারা যাচ্ছে, তুমি তাদেরকে সেখানে দেখবে ইট ইজ বিয়ন্ড দ্য পলিটিক্স, it is beyond the caste and creed. So the people should organize themselves, they must say make a link between the government and take proper এই জিনিসগুলো মাথায় রেখো, তাহলে দেখবে একটা পেপার না সত্যিকারের পেপার হয়ে দাঁড়াবে। তুমি এমন কিছু ভাববে যেটা কোথাও লেখা নেই। দেখো আমি যেটা বললাম না, এটা তুমি কোনো জায়গায় পাবে না।
আমি একটা জিনিস নোটিস করেছি যে এই লকডাউন পিরিয়ডে মোটামুটি যত রকম কোম্পানি ছিল সব কোম্পানিরই একটা ডাউনফল হয়েছে।
নিশ্চয়ই,
কারণ মানে সার্ভাইভের জন্য মানুষ দুটো ট্যাকটিক্স ইউজ করেছে, যেটা একটা আপনারা মানে আপনি বললেন যে ওরা এই পেশাটা ছেড়ে অন্য পেশায় গেছে যেটা করে ওরা কিছু ইনকাম করতে পারবে। আরেকটা খুব কমন জিনিস যে ওরা যে ঘরের যে এক্সপেন্সেস মিনিমাম করে দিয়েছে ওইটা, যাতে ওদের টাকাটা সেভিং করা যায়, একটা মিনিমাম এক্সপেন্সেস নেমেছে। মানে তারা যদি কেউ মান্থলি 1000 বাজেট রাখে, সেই টাকাকে কমিয়ে করেছে 600। তো এরকম একটা জিনিস আছে, মানে সার্ভাইভাল টেকনিক এটাও ইউজ করেছে। আর আমি একটা জিনিস নোটিস করেছি যে মেনলি লকডাউন টাইমে যে কোম্পানিগুলো চলেছে সেইগুলো মেনলি হলো ইন্টারনেট কোম্পানিজ, মানে এই কোম্পানিজ গুলো জিও টিও, মানে এই কোম্পানিগুলোই খুব মেনলি চলেছে
এবং তারা লাভবান হয়েছে। বুঝতে পেরেছো? তারা কিন্তু সেটা ওইটা তুমি যদি এটা নিয়ে তুমি পড়াশোনা করতে পারো, এটা অনেক পেপার আছে যে কি করে ওই যে আয়টা তাদের এই যে বড় ধরো জিও আজকে বললে বা রিলায়েন্স, তাদের যে লাভ হয়েছে সেটা কিন্তু এক মুষ্টিমেয় মানুষের হাতে এটা বিরাট পরিমাণ আয় সৃষ্টি হয়েছে। খুব ধন্যবাদ তোমাদের সকলকে, তোমরা যে সকলে বললে, সকলে তোমরা আনন্দ পেয়েছো তো এই যে পেপার। হ্যাঁ, এটাই হচ্ছে বড় কথা, আনন্দ নিয়ে করা, যে কিছু করবে বাধ্য হয়ে করবে না। যে প্রিন্সিপাল বলেছেন, তমাল তরু বলেছে তাই আমি করছি, হ্যাঁ, দেবীশ্রী বলেছে তাই আমি করছি, তা নয়, আনন্দ থেকে করবে, নিজের থেকে উদ্যম নিয়ে করবে। আমি খুব খুশি হয়েছি যে আজকে আমার কমার্সের ছেলেরা নববালিগঞ্জে তারা মানে খুব ভালো ছেলে হওয়ার দরকার নেই, আমিও খুব সাধারণ ছেলে, আমি অতীব সাধারণ, কোনোদিন ফার্স্ট ক্লাস পাইনি। বুঝতে পেরেছো? কিন্তু আনন্দটা কোথায় বলো তো, তোমাদেরকে পড়িয়ে তোমরা যখন ফার্স্ট ক্লাস পাও তখন আমি ভেবে কি আমি ফার্স্ট ক্লাস পেয়েছি। বুঝতে পেরেছি তো? আমি জীবনে ফার্স্ট ক্লাস পাইনি, কিন্তু আমার ছেলেরা এখন প্রচুর ফার্স্ট ক্লাস পায়, এটাই হচ্ছে আনন্দ। যখন নিয়ে কোনো কাজ করবে দেখবে কোনো কাজই তোমার খারাপ লাগবে না। এই বলে আমি শেষ করছি। হ্যাঁ, আমাকে কারণ আমার শরীরটাও খুব একটা মানে ভালো নেই, কথা বলতে অসুবিধা হচ্ছে। অনুপ তুমি শুরু করো, অনুপ বা যারা আছেন, তোমরা যারা আছেন।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, আপনি সুন্দরভাবে প্রেজেন্ট করেছেন আর কি। ছাত্ররা ওদেরকে আমরা স্বাধীনতা দিয়েছিলাম, ওরা ওদের মতো করে কাজ করেছে আর কি।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, নিশ্চয়ই নিশ্চয়ই ভালো হয়েছে, ভালো
বলেছি
হয়েছে।
হয় ম্যাক্সিমামটা ওদের করেছে আর কি, ওদের মতো করে।
হ্যাঁ
ওরা চেষ্টা করেছে স্যার যতটা পেরেছে আর কি।
জানি আমি, জানি যে
আশা
করি-
করছি
এই-
আগামী দিনে
হ্যাঁ,
আগামী দিনে আমরা অর্গানাইজ করে আপনাকে পাবো আমরা আমাদের এই মানে মহতি উদ্দেশ্যে আর কি।
হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা,
নিশ্চয়ই।
আমরা তো দেখেছি প্রতিটা ক্ষেত্রে এফেক্ট হয়েছে আর কি। আমরা কেউ মাছ বিক্রি করতে দেখেছি কাউকে, কাউকে সবজি, এবং বাড়ির ছোট ছোট মেয়েরা আমি দেখেছি, সবাই হয়তো বিয়ে হয়েছে, তার ছেলে তার স্বামী হয়তো কাজ করতে কোথাও, কারখানা বন্ধ হয়ে গেছে, তারা দেখেছি, বউয়েরা দেখেছি আমার এরিয়াতে স্যার, তার সাইকেলে 3টে লাউ আর একটুখানি ঝিঙে নিয়ে বেরিয়ে পড়েছে আর কি।
বলছি শান্তনু এরকম শান্তনু এরকমও হতে পারতো যে কেউ আমাদের কোনো ছেলেরা দেখো এখানে প্যান্ডেমিক আর এডুকেশন এটা নিয়ে বললো না, তোমরা একটু বললো না ওদেরকে যে প্যান্ডেমিক আর এডুকেশন, বুঝতে পেরেছো? এডুকেশন এটা নিয়ে একটু বলো, প্যান্ডেমিক এন্ড ডিজিটাল ডিভাইড এটা নিয়ে বলতে বলো। এই যে গ্রামের ছেলে মেয়েরা তারা যেন 8% মাত্র অনলাইনে ক্লাস করে, শহরের ছেলেদের তুলনায় অনেক কম। তাহলে এই যে ডিভাইডটা হচ্ছে, এই যে পার্থক্যটা, এখান থেকে মানুষের অ্যাক্সেস টু এডুকেশনটাও কমে যাচ্ছে, জানো? এর ফলে
একদম কমে স্যার, বাচ্চারা নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে,
হ্যাঁ
প্রতিটা বাচ্চা নষ্ট হয়ে যাচ্ছে প্রায়।
এবং শান্তনু তুমি জানো ধরো আমার যে বাড়িতে যে ছোট বাচ্চারা আছে তারা স্কুলেই গেল না, আরে স্কুলের ব্যাপারটাই বুঝলো না, এতে কি হয় সামাজিক বন্ধনটাও নষ্ট হবে, তারা স্বার্থপর হয়ে যাবে, জানো তো? স্কুলে গেলে টিফিন ভাগ করে খাওয়া, একসঙ্গে খেলাধুলো করা, একটা একটা সামাজিক বন্ধন যেটা, সেটাই নষ্ট হয়ে গেল সামাজিক বন্ধন। এখন আমরা ভয় পাই, এই তো ধরো আমি একটা জায়গায় যাবো, সঙ্গে সঙ্গে আরেকজন বলছে তুমি ওখানে যেও না, তাহলেই তোমার করোনা হবে। হ্যাঁ, সবাই মুখ, এই যে আমাদের একটা ভীতি, এই যে আমাদের পারস্পরিক দূরত্ব, এটা যেন দীর্ঘস্থায়ী না হয়, এটাই আমার একমাত্র কামনা। হ্যাঁ
স্যার, হ্যাঁ আমরা স্বার্থপর হয়ে যাচ্ছি কিছুটা হলেও এখান থেকে, প্যান্ডেমিক আর কি, এটা হয়েছে আমাদের এফেক্ট হয়েছে, আমি বুঝতে পারছি।
হ্যাঁ, এবং তুমি অনেক উদাহরণ পাবে
স্যার, তার কারণ সবার কাছে সবার আগে তার ফ্যামিলিটা
ইম্পর্টেন্ট। ঠিক ঠিক ঠিক, এটা তো তার দোষ নয়, আমি দোষ
না,
দিচ্ছি
এটা
না।
অবভিয়াসলি দোষ না, কারণ ফ্যামিলি সবার কাছে ইম্পর্টেন্ট।
হ্যাঁ, সেই জন্যই আর কি, মানে এটা চাইছি আর কি, যাতে কেটে যায়। আবারও ধন্যবাদ সকলকে, তোমরা সবাই ভালো থেকো। হ্যাঁ, শারদীয় শুভেচ্ছা আগাম জানাই। তমাল তরু ভালো থেকো, শান্তনু ভালো থেকো, অনুপ ভালো থেকো, ঠিক আছে? আর সুকোমলকে জানিও যে আজকে অনুষ্ঠান খুব ভালো হয়েছে, খুবই ভালো লেগেছে।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার, আপনিও ভালো থাকবেন স্যার, আপনার ভালোভাবে কাটান।
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
সবাই খুব ভালো করেছে সবাই, ঠিক আছে, থ্যাংক ইউ। হ্যাঁ, কালকে তোমাদের মহলার ছুটি আছে, কালকে ক্লাস হবে না, এটা মাথায় রেখো সব, ঠিক আছে?
ওকে স্যার, ওকে স্যার,
ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে।
ওকে স্যার।
রশ্মি যা হয়ে গেছে ছেড়ে দাও, এখন ডিসকাশন হলো। রশ্মি কি আছে? আমি লিখেছিলাম যে রশ্মি আছে বা রশ্মি বাকি আছে। রশ্মি, হ্যাঁ একটা পরে ব্যবহার করা দেখে নেবো আমরা, হ্যাঁ সার্টিফিকেট আমার দিয়ে দেবো। তোমার টপিক কি ছিল রশ্মি?